Good evening, chat. Hello. It is Tuesday. God, it's weird. It feels like this week is feels like it should be Friday already, given how it's just been an intense couple of days. But woo, it's only Tuesday, which means we still have a whole couple more days of craziness to go. Which, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but we live in interesting times, and it's just sometimes like a fire hose of information. Not only all this political stuff, but you see, out of left field, Tectone's got apparently all kinds of crazy shit happening to him. We've got stuff popping off everywhere. The Alyssa Mercanti, Smash JT lawsuit. The Brendan Banfield trial is he's apparently going to testify coming up, which we'll be going back to tomorrow because they are back in court tomorrow. Just everything is just the training wheels are falling off the earth. There's just so much stuff. There's so much to do and so much to see. I mean, really, that is where we are, and such is life. There's so much to do and so much to see. So sometimes I don't necessarily know that it's wrong to take the back streets. And as much of Antifa's finding out, you'll never shine if you don't glow, especially on Signal. Your comfort, it's Wednesday somewhere in the world, yes. Courtney Kelsey's big energy show. It is. I think it's a big energy show. I don't know what else to call it, but a fucking ice storm. A shit storm hit Minnesota. A shit storm full of ice, and the shit winds were a-blowing, and they're still blowing out in Minnesota. So I have to admit, before you get too far, so far some things have happened, and I need to be honest about it. My name is Sean, and I was a panicking, and I still am a panicking. I panicked. I believe the bullshit. That's right, chat. I bought into the shit that this is all, start the buses. It's all over. I did. But we're here to deal with it. I'm here to accept it. And we're going to move on. We're going to move forward. We're going to move forward on this. At this point. Botto Entertainment says, yes, anything worth noting with Greer filing several additional motions? No, but it's my whole theory of being at 450 or 500 by St. Patrick's Day. I have the feeling we're going to be there by Valentine's Day at this rate, which it's like, God damn you, Russell, just fucking me over on this. No Mayo says, do the Nate Snaky Bronca discussion. I don't know what the hell happened. I know they went on with Joe last night, but that's all I know. I'm not going to get into that really more. That's all I can really say at this point. That's all I can really say here. Yeah, we're going to be at 600 by St. Patty's Day. Oh, I can totally get that. So, are you team black or team white? I'm a team, I'm not good at the grift, and they both are. They are both consummate showmen, and I am not at all on their level. That's what I can tell you right now. And yes, by the way, we got the 27K, chat. I have seen the top of the mountain, and it is good. Really, holy fucking took, 4 years, and we're just now to 27K. I'm like, I was looking people like, you should be a lot more than that. I'm like, yeah, I sure, but we got to make the little steps first. Now we got it to 27,100. That's the next goal. I feel like an alcoholic. We're we got to get through this hour, and then I got to get through the next hour. I'm not worried about 10 years from now. I'm worried about 10 minutes from now. Oh, it's rough. 27-hour stream when? I don't know. um, Alyssa, show us your feet. No. No. And by the way, Alyssa Clips, guys, MLC and Kevin Brennan's newest member, newest supporter. Congratulations, Alyssa. All right, hold on one second, guys. Hold on. We gotta do this real quick. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, it's a couple minutes in. It is time to get started. It is time to get started. This is chat's fault. Yes. God damn you. It's all your fault out there. Didn't keep me strong. That's a shame. How are you doing? Hello. But yeah, guys, there's some good. There's a lot of bad, but overall, we'll see. We'll see what's going on here. Did I hear? Yes, we're going to go over that. We're going to go over that at some point here. We're going to get into that. Let's see here. Should I update the website to congratulate Sean? I mean, sure. Yes. Lone Alaska says, happy birthday and congrats on 27K. Well, thank you. Thank you for being at 17 months. And then real quick, guys, getting back to this, we got to get to here. Stephen Cooper for 20 subs. Let's fucking go tonight, chat. It is big dick energy night. Seriously. This is a big energy night. It's like those, there was a YouTube channel, it used to be called like High Energy, and it was like Trump and Tucker Carlson things, and it was like high energy. We need to be high energy, and I felt like, watching that nurse get smoke checked, it's like, yeah, I felt like, God, shouldn't have died. And it sucked. But I got to keep the faith. You got to keep the faith, chat. You got to keep the faith. And that is a sign of truly being faithful, that your faith can be, at times it may falter. Sometimes you don't know. That's a sign of real faith. It's easy just to keep believing, no matter what, everything's great. But it's when those times get tough and you have to dig deep and you realize, okay, yeah, I was down in despair and now I'm not. That's where faith comes from. That's where faith comes from. So, Stephen Cooper, thank you for your support and your generosity. Just very, very much so. Thank you. And then Chuchin for 10 subs. Big fucking support, chat. Big fucking support out there. Just dropping those bombs before we even started. Thank you guys for your support, your generosity. If you guys got something from them, tell them thanks. James Reed says, for some reason, I can't for PC, but can on the bench. Yeah, I don't know, guys. It's so weird. I don't. And, whether you have brand accounts, and I don't even think YouTube could explain to you what happens at this point, because everything's just so screwed up. Everything is just so screwed up. I don't know the answer there, honestly. Been there, done that. It's been a member for 21 months. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I'd vote for Ralph Wiggum for president, too. America's in danger. It says, my mommy says congrats. Well, thank you. Jennifer Thomas has been a member for 10 months. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for your support. It says, happy 27K. Glad to be here for so long as I have. Well, thank you. I'm glad you've been here too. EDW Raptor for $5 says, congrats on 27K. Break that glass ceiling. Well, I mean, I got enough mass to break a glass ceiling. It's just a matter of, if I was standing on top of it, it'd be a lot easier. Yes, Torgo the White's been a member for 27 months. Thank you. Thank you for being here that long. Yeah, this is very correct. Just 10 more years and you get to 28K. Safa. I know. That's going to be the great thing. Like, just got to get some decent numbers out there, folks. Get to we got to keep ahead of people. We got to keep ahead of people. Meet copium's on our heels. I know some numbers don't count, but goddamn. We got to get up. We're going all the way to 100K. That's all I can say at this point. I need that clip from Thin Red Line where Nick Nolte's like, we're going all the way. High ground by nightfall. And Graham, it's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. 41 months. Graham, I'm back in the day when, we were banging this out and we had that shitty studio. I think 41 months ago, I still had that shitty desk-mounted microphone. I didn't have like the boom-mounted mic version 1. This is version 2. Like, we upgraded to a Shure, but before, this was actually, this mount is part of that original $50 microphone setup I had. And people were happy because every time you touched the table, you could hear the ring through it. So, or I bump my belly into the table, that would happen too. Bumping the gunt. You've been here through it all. You've been here. I know other guys if you have, but just, you guys remember those days. You remember those days. You remember the Fromes kept falling off the wall. But yes, when has the caving to leftists ever solved anything? Never, and I don't think we did at this point. But we're gonna talk about all this. And then Stephen Cooper for 10 more subs. Just let's go. All right, guys. I know this is what you want to see out there in Minneapolis, but we can't get it, so I'll give it to you here. Just. I know it's what you wanted to see, but it's not happening. It's not going to happen. So you'll have to settle for it here. Casey just knows we aren't wrenches anymore. Like, you're literally a wrench. Like, looking at it, it says you're a wrench. Oh. Say, yeah, Sean needs to be on the bottom of the frame. I know. Yeah. Omar got sprayed. Well, in Somalia, that's considered a traditional showering method, I presume. That's normal for Somalia. In Somalia, they call that waking up early. Oh, here we go. All right. We'll start off with this chat. My very chattelings. We'll start off here. Ilhan Omar at a town hall. Started now here's what I'll tell you guys. This sounds hilarious and it's based. You're gonna get a fucking felony out of this. Like, assaulting a member of Congress while they're doing their congressman things. Hold on here. Somebody said, wait, is that a shield? Is that new? Where do you see it? What do you mean a shield? Jen, where do you see a shield? I'm not sure where you're talking. But anyways, guys, as much as we want to have a joke and a smoke about this, I cannot recommend you do this. You're going to get tackled. Oh, there might be on Twitter and stuff or YouTube. That might just be like, how long you've been supporting and stuff. I don't know. Here's a problem. Doing any of this, you're going to get arrested. You're going to get charged. You're going to get charged with a crime. And I guess you're hoping that the Trump DOJ doesn't prosecute you, but they probably are going to. And if they don't, the next administration will, if presuming that's not JD Vance. The other big thing is she has armed security. 100%. She's got armed security with her. And if not, there's police there. And you just run up and you start, obviously I can't do this, but you start sprinting at her. I'm going to get you. And, you go lunging at her. Bop, 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 bop. Not like Kendrick Lamar says, bop, 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 bop. Like, you're going to get Alex Preddied. And, once again, I can tell you, it's just the nature of the world. It's not going to end well. So be very careful if you do this shit. Don't, just, you need to understand the world you're getting into. If you want to be a martyr, go play these reindeer games. If you don't want to be a martyr and you don't want to get arrested, don't do this. Okay? I'm telling you what somebody should have told Renee Good and Alex Preddy. You want to fuck around, you better be prepared to pay that freight. So here we go.
Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment. I don't know.
Oh my God, he sprayed something on her.
I need a napkin to know nothing. No, we will continue.
No. You're fine. You need to go get checked. No,
we will continue. These fucking assholes are not going to get away with it.
You need to go get checked. No, you don't know.
And I mean, here's the big thing. Is he spraying silly string? Is he spraying piss? Is he spraying a caustic acid? Nobody knows. And that person defending her, that guy with the earpiece in, would have every right to fucking drop you. So be careful when you do that. Be careful. Like, you want to play these games. Like, if they had killed that guy, pay your money, you take your chances. I'm not going to say, well, they shouldn't do that. No. If they killed him, that's what you fucking get for fucking around. You know, there's a big risk. You know, you can do that. So where can we donate to this guy? I don't know. Yeah, this is where it's a Charlie Kirk. Yes. It's just something to consider. This has never been a good thing. I understand, but I know people at this point, there's so many people out there saying, like,
was this story based? Yes.
There's so many people who are fired up and they want to see this shit go down. And it's like, just be careful out there, guys. Be careful out there. Be careful. Is this legal advice not to do that? Yes, 100%. Maddie said, I won't show your Fed post. I didn't see your Fed post. Katie says, it's calm. Maddie says, I would have sprayed lead, but that's just me. Well, like I said, I don't recommend that. And then, you know, you want to kick that off. You know, you'd be kicking off something that probably wouldn't stop at that point. And if you did that, a lot of people would probably end up dead. You know, even people you like would end up dead. So, no, I don't recommend that at all. That would be insane. Absolutely insane. Anonymous says, thoughts on Cash's comments about 2A at a protest? Well, Cash Patel's a retard. But I guess we'll move straight into that. And this is something, I don't know, I forget where I fucking saw this. But this is a correct recitation of the facts when you're at a protest. And you can carry armed at a protest and do all this stuff. But it's risky. You know, carry a firearm. Yep. Can you do it as a form of protest or while protesting? Yep. Is it risky? Yeah. Could lead to some issues. Turboy says, is it my birthday? No, it's not till August. You know, it's risky. Yeah. Protesting and carrying a firearm while impeding law enforcement is bad. It's not good. You know, carrying a firearm and impeding law enforcement, yeah, it's good. That's going to end bad. Like, I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm telling you, is it a bad idea? It's just something I would not recommend. Because your odds of getting killed skyrocket. They just go straight up. You know, straight up through the roof. Doesn't mean you will, but I don't recommend you do it. You know, even an open carry protest, like out in front of your state house that have happened before, those are always fucking risky. Anytime there's guns in the mix, the risk is elevated. Anytime you're carrying a gun, everything gets elevated in risk. And anybody who tells you it's not is a fucking idiot. Everything gets elevated. So you have to be careful. You can do it. I just don't recommend you do it. And more importantly, I know people were shitting their pants over this, and one guy in particular was crying about it. These two zones, I'm just telling you the way of the world. Like, as an attorney, I'm not giving you the nice answer and giving you the real answer. It's like if you walk into the woods where there's grizzly bears, they might fucking eat you. That doesn't mean they should. It doesn't mean you should die. But it's a possibility you have to consider. And when it happens, it's just the way shit goes. And as long as you're accepting this is an outcome that you're willing to prepare to deal with, by all means, do it. But was Alex Pretty prepared for that outcome? I don't think so. I don't think so. And if you're not, leave your gun at home. Or even better, if your friends are out like fucking like, if your friends are up here protesting, you know what you can do? And they're holding their signs up and they're saying, go home, ICE, and they're screaming at ICE, it's over this way. You could stand like right here. And Overwatch your buddy. Make sure he's okay. It's a pretty simple thing. Think about when the police are dealing with these riot situations. They have their skirmish line. And yeah, the cops are all armed, but that's part of their thing. But notice what they're doing. Their job is to hold the shields. Then they got guys with the less lethal launchers behind them. And then who's right next to them, but doing a separate function? There are guys with lethal force backing them up. The lethal force guys aren't out on the fucking front line jerking around. They're back. It's just thinking. It's just thinking. Why do the cops do it that way? Because it avoids problems. And you might say that's not fair. Great, it's not fair. I mean, that's kind of what happens. It's not fair. Great. If that's your fucking beef, I don't know what to tell you. Grow up. That's how the world works, man. It's not fair. They got the monopoly on violence. Until we change that, the way of the world is not fair. It's not fucking fair. So. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing. I don't think he was there to cause maximum damage. I think Nolan was an idiot. So was Kash Patel. Fuck them both for what they said. But also, at the end of the day, guys, I've told you, the government's never going to give us machine guns. The Supreme Court's never going to give you machine guns. The government's job is to be the government and have their monopoly on violence. So it's not a surprise. Let's not act like we're shocked. And, we'll deal with it however we can. And hopefully they advance our interests better than the other side. That's all you can do at this point. That's all you can do at this point. So that's where we are. That's where we are. Yeah, and this is actually true. Antifa does a variant of that. They have their shield people in front, and they have people behind lobbing projectiles. They don't have people up in the front of the line throwing fucking rocks, because that's when you get caught or you get shot. So you have to think about it. You have to think about it. You have to think about it. Quicksilver says, what about his previous altercation with Isaac getting a broken rib? Well, we found out a bunch of things now. Well, yes, Tim Pool, as I said, Politics is a Vocation by Max Weber is a phenomenal read if you really want some good political philosophy. You don't have to agree with Max Weber about his, ultimate conclusions, but his discussions about the monopoly on violence will get your noggin jogging, and I think it's very apropos and current. So what was I saying here? What about, I mean, it just shows that, he's down for the struggle. And because remember, what was the story? He had just come out of a donut shop and he was a nurse. No, he was a guy that apparently lost his shit and got without a job, was out fucking around. And apparently I don't know. Did he bring his gun with him before? Who knows? But I think certainly he felt a little puffed up carrying his iron on his hip, which, if that's how you feel, remember, it's not a magic wand. It's not a magic wand. And if you treat it like that, you're going to get killed or go to prison. Guns are not magic wands. Having one of them doesn't give you 100 extra riz or 100 extra strength or bravery. And having one and waving it around doesn't do anything. We talked about this before. Earlier in 2025, when that guy in Indiana got out of his car and was waving around an AR pistol. And what happened? Somebody come and they beat his fucking ass and they took the gun. Guns are not magic wands. and be careful how you introduce them. Be careful how you introduce them. Steel Toe's been struggling because of his libto takes. Yeah, I mean, like, yes, you could, I mean, there's shit they're not doing right, but you know what? I support the overall objectives. I don't necessarily support the methods to do them. So we'll see about that. We'll see what happens from there. So let's keep moving here, chat. Talk is cheap. Yes, that's another thing. A lot of people are learning the hard way about stuff. Yes. Don't pick up flashbangs. They're literally fucking explosive devices. And there was a lady out at the ICE protest over the weekend, and she literally blew her fucking hand off picking up a flashbang. Do not pick up a flashbang. I mean, it's literally, here.
Oh my God.
This lady comes running back from up at the front where the ICE vehicle is, and, waving her hand.
Medic. Oh my God.
She picked up a flashbang and it went boof. Well, flashbangs are literally destructive devices under federal law. If you own one, you literally need to pay taxes on it. And the bigger thing about flashbangs, they're made out of metal and they're reusable. Eventually, and this is a very dangerous thing about flashbangs, metal fatigues, and after a while, they can explode like a fucking hand grenade. And they could just shear in half. Sometimes the parts of it break off, and now it's a fragmentation device. So you have to be very careful. If the police launch something, don't pick it up. Flashbangs explode. Tear gas canisters are hot enough to burn your fingerprints off. Like, don't be retarded about it. Don't be retarded. If it looks dangerous, don't pick it up. And this is a great example of what this lady basically did. I love these AI things now. These AI things are so damn funny. But yes, don't pick up grenades, chat. Don't pick up grenades. The new I'm hearing he was directing traffic. Well, who gave him permission to do that? Like, he was clearly running out there and fucking, like, the ICE guys are trying to handle their thing, and he's out there waving cars around. Like, no. Go do your thing. Go film. Like, honestly, I hope if ICE comes to Cleveland, I'll figure out where they're going and I'll go film and like, see, here's how you film what they're doing. And you can just film. Like, look, I can sit there and film and I'm not dead. But, because, like, great. Yeah, you stood up to him. Now you're dead. Nobody can do anything for you. Oh. Filming from the sidewalk is boring. Yeah, well. Isn't that one of those? Yes, don't become your parent. Yes, it's the Progressive commercials. Don't become your parent. Waving traffic around. Yeah. Kitty says Sean on the street. Yes. Oh. So, don't follow ICE, Sean. You can follow them. Fuck them. It's their problem. Now, let's see here. I mean, but yes, ultimately, as Aaron said, and we're going to get to this ICE stuff at the end, they have a manual, they have a playbook, and as Andrew Wilson was trying, that I'm trying to explain to him, you need to understand, and I've said this repeatedly, you need to understand, if you think Antifa is just a bunch of blue-haired faggots and lesbians, on the front line it is, but the people who make moves, the people who organize and plan are very educated. They understand, basically like guerrilla warfare. They understand information operations. It's not hard, but if you don't know it, you have to learn it. But they know it well. Remember, they've been doing this for the better part of like a decade now. So they've got it refined. Yeah, sure, they've been getting all the money and the assistance, but they've had 10 years to practice. They're very well trained, and they understand what they're doing, and they're able to take people and get them going. You can laugh at the fact that they have like tables full of food ready to go and things like that. But you know what that shows? They have logistical support, and they have this. They have an active populace, whether or not how much of it is actively and openly supporting them, and will provide them with equipment. Will provide them with logistics. Will provide them with care, and probably means of hiding and escaping at some point. So it's not just some fat, blue-haired lesbian you're dealing with. You're dealing with people who have a level of sophistication. And yeah, those are the dangerous ones. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. We'll get to that in a minute. But let's get back to, if you guys don't remember, this was we're getting to Alex Pretty. Remember, he starts fucking around because that's the part they don't like to talk about. Like, what was he doing out in the middle of the road before I shoved him? But anyways, they come up to him. There's, he starts fucking around in traffic. And yeah, this is the problem. Like, he's out screwing around. And yeah, he wanted to do all this. And he starts like he's trying to be the white knight for these ladies. And yeah, he gets involved. Whether the cops are doing something illegal or not. I mean, if you guys have been to college, the cops are fucking with somebody. You don't touch that. You stay out of the way. But now you're getting involved. And yeah, like, it's game on now at that point. As they come around him, they get up on him. It's funny because they're like, it took a bunch of them to take it down. It's like, if you're surrounded, if there's a bunch of cops and they see like you getting arrested, they're all going to jump in. That's like Cop 101. And I do agree with the civil rights lawyer, John Bryan. It's like a group of jackals. And once somebody screams the word gun, 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 they all panic. And remember, you can say that's bullshit and it's wrong. Right, wrong, or indifferent, he's fucking dead. And it's because they found his gun. So you can bitch and moan about whatever you want. Had he not had his gun, well, they aren't going to fucking shoot him. Like, once again, you have to think about what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. You have every right to do this, but do you understand the consequences of what's going to happen to you? If you do, then by all means do it. I mean, it sucks, but, that's... Yeah, I mean, it's just... Why did the guy who disarmed him turn and run away? Because he's trying to get... I presume if you ever to ask him, I would assume his answer is, I'm grabbing that guy's gun and getting it the fuck away from the scene. Because having a gun, just a random gun out in play, is not safe. There's no need for a gun to be floating around. So we yanked his gun, and I'm getting rid of it and getting it away from everything. And then everything kicks off. So him being disarmed is 100% fine. Just, you have to be careful. Like I said, do whatever you want. Carry a gun in a protest, but be prepared. This is the outcome. Here. Did you see the CBP report to Congress? Says Eurofucks. No, I did not. By the way, how are you doing, man? No mention of accidental discharge. I knew people were just looking at MPEG artifacts. Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing, Zerofucks. It's an outcome that makes sense because this is whatever way he died. Yeah, it looks like his mags fell out and one of them got kicked away, Stacy. I do see that too. It's not out of the realm of possibility. And I'll say this, Zerofucks, because I've watched a bunch of these cases over the years. All the way back to college, you hear about people getting killed in fucked up ways. Philando Castile getting killed. Amir Locke, who's another guy in Minneapolis who got murdered by the police involving a gun unlawful. And, he did nothing illegal. They unlawfully murdered him. When guns are getting handled, the idea of the gun going off on its own, maybe, or that cop fat fingering it, sure. That's not an uncommon, like, accidental discharges, kicking off, the police shooting somebody, murdering them. That's happened before where, like, you've got, like, 10 cops all sitting here, and one of them kind of goes, bang! Because he's, like, all amped up. And then they all go, ah, and they start shooting, and then the guy who's got his hands up gets killed. That happens. It's not an uncommon thing. So the idea of guns going off, it being a P320 going off, there's a bunch of different things. Like, those are all possible. Those are all possible. Yeah, Philando Castile was the guy in the car. Amir Locke is one. I did like one of the first videos I did on this channel. If you guys want to go watch it, Amir Locke got fucking murdered, and it was bullshit what happened to him. Now, what do I think happened? I think, oh, gun, and one of the cops is looking, one of the nice guys looking, and he says, oh shit, empty holster. Fuck, he's got it out. I mean, yeah, and once again, I don't think he grabbed an officer's gun. They would have probably come out with that already. They would have come after that already. So, the Acorn cop was in Florida. But I just bring that up because this was an accident. But once again, if you're going to do, remember, like I said, the chart shows, it's risky. And then that risk can be fatal. Accident happened. You're dead now. Be very careful about how you do this. Carry a gun. Do it at a protest. Go do civil disobedience at a protest with a gun. I'm not saying not to do it, but I'm telling you it's really fucking dangerous in the outcomes. What's the worst that can happen? Oh, what's the worst that can happen? You're dead. You're dead, and it's not, and the cops aren't held responsible for it. Even though they may have acted like a bunch of fucking morons. That's all we need to understand here. So, yeah. Well, yeah, there's also the Somali cop, but he ended up going to prison for that. So, yeah. What's the best sandwich to take to a protest? Whatever one you want. So, as I said, guys, you don't have, it's not an issue of being anti-Second Amendment. And there are a bunch of people who have been retarded about it. But really just saying, you know, because like you guys, we talk about these things. You guys, if you do X, here's the logical outcome of that. And a bunch of you are like, well, that's not fair. You know, or he didn't deserve to die. Deserve ain't got nothing to do with it, to quote the great William Money. Deserve ain't got fucking nothing to do with it. You know, shit happens when you're out on the field. People get paralyzed playing football. Nobody, did they deserve it? No. Shit happens. You put your cleats on, shit happens. If you don't like that, then don't put your fucking cleats on. Don't put your fucking cleats on. It's my only advice to you. My only advice to you. Ice knew he had one gun, but at that moment, there's no way of knowing how many weapons he did have. Yeah, but that's not. Yeah. Yeah. Not right there. Shelly R is saying, how many people think the whistle's compounded the problem? Oh, it's intentional. It's meant to be auditorily confusing. Their goal is to get these guys to overreact and to, you know, not only the shoving, but they want these ICE guys to find one of them one day and beat the fuck out of them. And then they could film that and use it. These are agitation operations. Like the counter warfare insurgency, you know, the insurgency pyramid is a real thing from the John F. Kennedy, like, special warfare school. Like, this is from the 60s. It's unconventional warfare. Like, this is a real fucking thing. If you guys have never seen this before, like, you know, you guys need to understand, like, this is a real deal. This is a real deal thing. Like, it's very real. And, you know, you may not believe in it, but it believes in you. So, here we go. Like, this is how it starts. Like, this thing is real. If you guys have never seen this before. How does it start at the bottom? It says this, you know, underground activities, and at the top, guerrilla actions. This is the structure of an insurgency or resistance movement. If you guys watch Future Conflicts, you probably already know this. If you talk to Joe Dolio, you already know this, and they'll tell it to you better than I can. But notice, we're already up to, like, parts of here. You know, like increased agitation, infiltration of the administration by the police, the military. Well, fuck, we're already there, right? You know, we're already there. Okay, that's happened. That's a long time ago. Infiltration of foreign organizations and advisors. We're not there yet. We're not, that hasn't happened here, but what else has happened here? Recruitment and training of resistance cadre. Yeah. Yeah. What else have we seen? Penetration of labor unions. student and national organizations, all parts of society. Agitation, creation of favorable public opinion, creation of distrust of established institutions. It's like critical race theory, all that shit. These are all bricks in the wall. Spreading of subversive organizations in all sectors of life. Like, you guys read this, you're like, huh, check. Establishment of national front organizations, Antifa, BLM, appeal to foreign sympathizers. Yeah, check. Intensification of propaganda. Are you kidding me? Lots of propaganda. Lots of propaganda. Psychological preparation of the population for rebellion. They're trying to prime the pump. Notice, we're not like exactly like at the point of like, civil war, like Tim wants to think. But notice this pyramid. We're kind of like bouncing around on this motherfucker, right? Overt and covert pressure against the government. Strikes, riots, and disorder. There you go. I mean, guys, like this is a real thing. We don't have this infiltration of foreign material, money, weapons, and equipment yet. But like, notice like all this stuff is happening at different times. You don't have to do it in sections. But this shows you the general preparation and priming of a battlefield for a resistance or an insurgency. Yes, the arrow makes a menorah. Yes. And eventually you get to minor guerrilla actions and large-scale guerrilla actions where they're open, military action. Armed groups roaming the streets and conducting offensive operations. It's just, you have to think about what these guys are doing and what their game plans are. And those whistles, all that stuff is part of it. And I guess with that, we'll actually go, we'll kind of jump into Cam Higbee. We'll start there. Because Cam Higbee got into the big signal groups that are running. Well, no, zero fucks. I'm talking about like CCP and IRGC influence. I'm talking about like Ministry of State Security, like operations. They're arming and teaching people out in the middle of the desert how to use guns and stuff. That's what they mean by introduction of like foreign like presence like that. Yeah, overall there are like foreign operations going on and support in destabilization ops. I get that. But that's a lot more of like large scale, like we send in Green Berets and CIA advisors to start like arming and training and equipping people. But you get the point though. A lot of this stuff is happening at all the time. And it's boom, 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 boom. But overall, what happens? The fire rises. The fire keeps rising up the mountainside. So it's just something to think about. Just something to think about. That's what Enraged TV is for. Well, yeah. Zero Fuck says, yeah, I would say we're close to top. We're getting close to the top. We're getting close. I mean, that like we're not like this is, a lot of this stuff has happened. Like, the front organizations are getting big, national, like, yeah, we're getting there. Right now, we're kind of at this stage right here. This is where we are right now. And this can easily go into this right away. Once you're at the top, it doesn't take much. But we'll see. Like, that's where they are right now. Oh, Drummer, you're saying CCP funded? The Chinese, the Iranians, the Russians. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the EU nation states are throwing fucking money around. Anybody who hates America is going to be involved in this. Anybody who hates America is going to be involved in this. It's just something to keep in mind. So anyways, guys, Cam Higbee got involved in the major signal group. And apparently it sounds like one of the administrators was Flan. And Peggy Flanagan is the Minnesota's lieutenant governor. So, yeah. So you see people on here talking about like Signal is not secure. I worked in communications. Once they figure out where we were, it's only a matter of time. Flan has been exposed. We're all fucked. I need to leave this state. People are panicking about all the shit going on there. And yeah, this is where we start going here. This is interesting. This is interesting. This is interesting. So he said he wasn't sure that Peggy's part of it, but yeah, but it gets your noggin jogging. It gets your noggin jogging here. That's a weird nickname to have otherwise. Your name's Flan. So, more importantly, Cam shows us a lot of stuff. And this is Peggy Flanagan. She is the lieutenant governor of Minnesota. The schnoz, the most Semitic schnoz you've ever seen. But apparently she's like part Indian or something. Now, from here, the bigger stuff you guys need to look at is what he's done with this and what Cam Higby's shown us. And if you guys don't understand, this is a lot of things here you need to understand about what organization actually means. And when I talked about this before, building your community, getting to work on things here, it's critical. It's critical. This is him scrolling through. They went ahead and got involved with they got involved in an Antifa chat, basically. Now, how does it work? It's very organized. You know, when they went into this, they showed they've got people who are dispatchers. They have foot patrols. They have people who are lookouts. They have people who are following cars around. They have license plate checker people. They have medics. They have longer term medical care. You know, school spotters. Like, they've built up a network. When I talk to you guys about building your community, this is where you start. Think about it. If you're the right, you can't do this in a day. Half the time you're going to be worried everybody you're working with is a goddamn Fed. This is why they have that advantage. When they go out and do all that gay mutual aid shit, that's them building up rapport and a team and cadre and everything. It's building them up. It's building them up. It's something you guys need to understand. And what do? And notice he points out here, like each shift, you have to undergo training. Now, what is the training? Okay, well, you know, there's training, and some of that's going to be indoctrination. And that's truly how you work with the revolutionary group. You have to listen to our bullshit and propaganda. And eventually the training, that's also how we thin people out. And we can tell if you're there or not, or what you're down for the struggle on. There's all kinds of training. They want you to learn TT&Ps, tactics, techniques, procedures, how we do it, what we do. But you're also going to learn their garbage. For example, if you guys remember if you guys follow any of these people who, oh God, what's his fucking name? He's the little commie in Michigan who fought for the Kurds and then in Ukraine. He talks about, like, he went to Kurdistan to fight. You know, him being a communist anyway. But you had to go sit there and listen to all their communist indoctrination bullshit to join the YPG. Yeah, they're going to make you do it. They're going to make you do it. This moves on. And no, like, they have districts. You know, they have sectors, and they break those down even further. And then you have roving patrols in these areas. Like, yes, Zivdiv. Oh, yes, he is a commie. Oh, yeah, he is. He's a fucking commie. He's a fucking commie. Zakuza says this is paramilitary. You best fucking believe it's paramilitary. You're goddamn right. You are goddamn right. You are goddamn right. This is organization. You think the right can do this? Fuck no. How do they have time to do this crap? Everything. They've spent years putting this together. They've built groups. That's the point. It takes years for this to develop. You develop groups. You develop trust. And how do you find out who people who are dedicated to the cause? You go do your soup kitchens. You go teach like gay, blind, bisexual, transgender penguins how to read. You do all this gay commie shit, and you find out who's a gay commie with you. Like, they practice this. They prepare. They train. They weed out. They find out who's dedicated. And the more dedicated you are, you get to be in control of things. But this, and then once you're ready to go, you click it open and you can take on any fucking housewife and wine mom you want. The bottom ranks are easy to fill in these situations. They have the infrastructure they can stand it up in an instant. Because they've trained and practiced and prepared. 2020 was a great rehearsal for them. And that's why they're always good about it. So, it's not Antifa super soldiers, it's they've been fucking preparing. It's great, go out and train and do that stuff. Run and shoot. But also learn how to do this, because these people that want to kill you are doing this. And this is logistical. This is what this, because you know what? If you could do all this, hey man, here's some guns. The guns are like the last step. And once you have all this down and you have coordinated strike groups and you could do all this shit, yeah, you knock out the electricity, it's all over. But remember, like a low level insurgency, like we talked about, like a civil war is going to be a bunch of asymmetrical attacks. Put like 10 guys with, put like 3 or 4 carloads of dudes with rifles in these groups. Now you have like flying squads running around. And if something bad happens, all these zones can collapse on one zone. Now you've got like 20, 30 guys that are armed on a call. With a response time probably better than the cops. So, just so you understand. This is the thing here. Sweet Tooth, this isn't communist tactics. These are the tactics you need. This is insurgency. This is organized resistance. The right needs to do this too. You could team up with like a couple of guys in your neighborhood or guys from your gun club and form a little right-wing death squad, but you're probably not going to last forever. And yeah, that's kind of got an advantage on its own, being a leaderless resistance. But it's a lot easier to be an organized resistance unit. It's a lot easier. It's a lot more effective. So it's not communist tactics. It's just literally how you do this shit. It's just basic paramilitary organization. Yeah. So let's see here. Yeah, the CCP revolution, was a bunch of college students. If you guys go read like Mao's guerrilla warfare book, the biggest part of the by the time World War II kicked off, they were like they were fighting the Japanese more than Chiang Kai-shek. They had the Long March. When they had to march through the mountains and they were on the run from the Chiang Kai-shek and his forces. Like they had their own Valley Forge moment. Too. Like it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, guys. It's a whole thing. He says, sounds like easy targets. How? The moment you step to them, they're going to fucking descend on you like a ton of bricks. The moment they think something's sketchy, notice people are just like, anybody who's been driving around with a camera or filming things and it's not part of the group, they're immediately on. You're ICE, you're a reporter. Who are you? What are you doing here? Instantly, they're on you. You guys just need to understand that. You need to understand that. It's just the basics of, and logistics wins wars. Logistics wins wars. Now, yes, there are guys out there like Clay Martin and other guys are out there who are 18 series SF dudes who could stand people up right away and get them going. But you don't want to be behind the power curve if you don't need to be. We don't need to be lagging behind to catch up. We don't need to be. But right now, the right is really far behind. So, well, and Durna, we're going to get to this. They're in an even better situation because they have support of not just the populace, but they have support of their county government, their city government, the police, probably the state police, and more importantly, the fucking governor's office and their state legislator and the courts. Like, yes, they have vertical integration into the governmental apparatus. You know, it's like it's an entire state of insurgency at this point. They get super paranoid super quick, yeah, but they're willing. You know what happens when that goes on? The people who generally get attacked are like, it's okay, but even the people that do the attacking, they're like, sorry, man, like, you know, shit happens, and they don't care and they move on. So you got to be really fucking careful. You got to be really careful. Yeah. It's just some. Well, I said the courts in their state, not in Supreme Court. Oh. Lucky Lime says wildest support because they're revolutionary communists. They want communism. That's why. That's why they're support. This is the kind of support you need to go toe to toe with ICE in your city. I mean, yeah, if you want to go like, and yes, if you go too hard, they'll turn the city into Waco, but there's a long way to go before that happens. So I'm just pointing out what you guys need to understand here. If you don't understand that, and I'm sorry for yelling at you, but that's a thing. That's a thing, chat. But they talk about all of this. They have a license plate database. You can submit stuff. They have an active, like Cam shows you that these people change and they open signals and collapse signals and delete them and move them and bounce them around. You know, there's an entire
white Chevy Silverado.
They have, like, you know, they're using Discord, and they don't care that like Discord's not secure. It's secure enough for what they're doing. Instantaneous action.
With the newly changed plates with the coexist sticker on the back. We're on Irving and Lake Street going north on Irving. We seem to be the only commuters following. Just wanted to give an update on our location.
Thank you. Do you have anyone in the car with you?
Yes, I do.
Lovely. Thank you.
And we are getting a photo sent to the chat for confirmation.
I mean, you can laugh that they're using Discord and phone calls and all that, but think about it. That's got some basic, like, you know, do we have positive ID? You know, do we have high confidence or high probability in this thing? Like, it's like what you do as part of reconnaissance. Obviously, they're not using all the brevity codes and radio traffic that a military group would do, but they're talking it. We ID'd, stand by for picture. Do we have PID on this target? Yeah, who is it? What is it? What are they doing? Where are they going? Who are they with? Yeah. So. Well, Sandy says, loving the energy tonight. I wish I could get fucking Joe Dolio on here right now, because I'm sure he'd be able to even fill it out better. Elder Gus says, why aren't we cracking down? I don't know. Yeah, Purple Dragon, you're right. There are ways you could do that. You can infiltrate and cause confusion and misdirection. But overall, their organization is working. And really, you're not going to just destroy a misdirection like that. The only way you stop organizations like this is with the organization of your own. Measure and countermeasure. That's what has to happen. Yeah, this little subterfuge is part of that countermeasure. But no, like, the fist is met with a fist. You're not going to be able to meet the fist with a finger. Has to be, you've got to reciprocate. Bun says, if shit gets real, what percentage of people run for the hills? That's fine. Most of these people at the bottom aren't meant for that. These aren't the guys who are about that life. They have other groups of people who do that. And you don't need many. Think about it. If you had like 3 or 4 gunmen running loose in your state, what would they do? They would shut your fucking state down. Think about it even more like this. Like 10 guys in every state in America. 10 guys running around with body armor and AR-15s, one day shoot a couple of transformer stations and power stations and then go kill like 2 or 3 cops apiece. Every state in America. 150 cops in one day dead. 25, 50 to 100 power stations destroyed. What do you think happened? Like, it's not hard to do to go shoot a power station. Literally, you drive by them all the time. What happens then? You can't get pinpointed. You can't be attacked. How would you fucking fight all that at once? Like, you don't understand. The fighting core is very small in any sort of real resistance. They're like, these guys are meant to fade away and run for the hills. And they can fade away and then they'll come back and they can fade away and come back. Like, look what they do at the end. Like, when they do these ice shit. They come in and collapse on and they're there. And then when ice is done, they like, okay, cool, we'll go home. And then the lookouts come back out. And the lookouts take their post again. And everybody else goes home and chills out. Or they go fuck each other in the ass or whatever it is gay shit they do. And then when it's time comes again, they're on strip alert. And not all of them have, like, they've got jobs. Like, but remember, not everybody works every day of the week. And yeah, they're commies. A lot of them are unemployed. But, like, everybody has different things. Like, I'm free after work. I can do it before work or when we think, like, and what do? Then they come back out and then they go away. It's like a fire department. The fire department just doesn't drive around all the time. They go back to the firehouse and sit. Like, that's how this works. That's how this works. It's impressive. It's not impressive. It's if you read counterinsurgency manuals and like, the stuff Green Berets train on, it's not impressive. But what they're doing, you need to understand what they're doing because it's not hard. It just takes time and effort. And as long as you're willing to put in the work, it's very easy to do. So it's still a call center. That's all it takes. It's simple. It's simple. But it's deadly effective. It's deadly effective. What would the feds be justified in counter-terror ops? I mean, that's a question I don't think, I don't know if we're there yet, but at some point, yeah, it will be there. Paul Myra Media, it's a new member. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, I apologize. I'm not meaning to yell and scream at everybody. And by the way, guys, if you guys are new, my name is Sean, also known as Potentially Criminal. I'm an attorney in the Cleveland, Ohio area. And I dabble a little bit in, like, asymmetrical warfare and politics. So we're kind of dealing with that tonight. We'll get into some legal stuff here soon. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, P-dubs. They would silo you very quickly. And also, they might figure out who you are, dox you, then come after you, try to fucking kill you. Because very quick, they might say, we know who you are, Durna. Stop talking to us. Because think about it. You're on the internet. You're not really alone. You're never really anonymous. Yeah, they're fodder too, but, maybe they don't know it. So... That's the point here. That's the point here. Wishy-washy Oshidashi says, I'm returning fan. Kino Casino steered me back. Yeah. And yeah, the big thing here is, and this is something I saw here I want to get to. Divining Rod says, try this in Texas, I dare you. They already did. You forget over the 4th of July? They attacked a fucking ICE facility. Like 12 of them fucking wore body armor and carried AR-15s and tried to go bang it out with the fucking group there. Now, one of their guys got dirt napped, and the rest got rolled up in a matter of days, but they made an outright overt action against a governmental installation as a coordinated move. Granted, their tactics weren't good and they were really shit, but they did it. They did it. Like, it's happened. Like, this is happening right now. The only reason why nothing's happening right now is because it's cold and nobody wants to fucking go outside. But just you watch, summer's gonna make 2020 look like fucking Disneyland. You better learn how to protect your neck out there, chat. You can laugh at me. I'm in that same boat too. I need to learn how to protect my neck. Shredder says, "Out food, money, water. These groups are significantly smaller." Yeah, but they fund themselves. They believe in this. Like, yeah, they get money from the USAID and Soros and the the Open Secrets Foundation and the Tides Foundation and George Soros and Drummond Pike and all those cocksuckers Glenn Beck put on his chalkboard, who should be like on a fucking deck of cards we should be going through at some point in history. Yeah, that's all true. But in the meantime, Susie Homemaker, or some, like, they believe in this cause. They're funding it themselves at times. They believe in this shit. So no, you're not going to be able to cut the money off because they'll fund themselves. They're dedicated. They're dedicated. Say what you want about people who believe in collectivism, but that means they'll come together and help each other. When you believe in individualism, it's more like you take care of your own fucking problems. There's times where that's a good thing. There's times where it's a bad thing. When you're trying to organize a group, it helps that people want to be in a group. Like, it's just the nature of the business, man. It's the nature of the game. It's the nature of the game. Bush McFadden has been in for months. They're terrorists. I'm not saying you're not right. I'm not saying you're not wrong. I'm not saying you're not wrong. Divining Rod says, cope with what 1 minute he's talking, attacking the government, then the individual. I'm just pointing out, like, how this shit works. Once again, it's like that shooting chart. You don't have to like what I'm telling you, but it's the fucking reality on the ground. You don't have to like that gravity exists, but you can't jump off a fucking building and not expect to die. I'm telling you, there's the theory of gravity. You're like, fuck you, that's gay. Okay, well, something's gonna fucking kill you out there. Have fun. So that's all it is. That's all it is. So that's just all you need to think about here. It's something to think about. It's something to think about.
He's 5.
Yeah, look at this.
White.
We're not ICE. Why are you guys?
And they come out and confront you. These guys aren't, their job's not to engage. They're to spot and kind of make sure that they know, like, that they know that you're there. It's partial intimidation, but it's also basically that their job's to stay on you. And guess how quick they could probably call for reinforcements? Super fucking quick. So it's just something you need to understand. It's just, you guys need to realize what you're looking at here. So Carpenter and Flores says, yes, they're terrorists. I'm elderly and afraid to go out because of these nuts. Get them ICE. Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice if they could, and I'm sorry that you feel scared to go out, but yeah, it's going to become an issue. It's becoming an issue. Oh, Palmera says, new member. I upgraded to top level. Stop yelling. Your eyes are going to crooked. You know damn well I've been around since like 22. No, I know, but I thought you had, like, it had gone away and you re-upped. Sorry. So it's like, I know, like, new member. It's because all StreamYard tells me is new member. I'm sorry. That's all I get is that thing. So it doesn't tell me anything at all. So yeah, reinforcements are already on the way. Reinforcements are already on the way by the time this has happened. So Kel says, I tried to tell him he didn't see it. I didn't. I'm too busy yelling. He's a lifer. Well, thank you. I need to get some more stuff together for you guys. I need to get some more stuff together for you lifers. Oh, Sabrina says, I'm scared. Like, here's the, you can't be scared. If you guys ever watched the movie Bridge of Spies, it deals with Gary Powers being traded for Rudolph Abel. When Tom Hanks is talking to his client, the Russian spy, he says, are you worried? He goes, would it help? Is it going to help to be scared? No. like now's not the time. Now's not the time for fear. Now's the time to prepare. And honestly, are we gonna we're not gonna melt down by then. We're not gonna melt down by then. But you need to be prepared that this summer the fucking training wheels are gonna fall off the world. Now, is it gonna turn into you're gonna be eating beans and shit like that in a burned out house? No. But there are gonna be dead. There are going to be dead people before. By the time we get to Labor Day, there are gonna be dead motherfuckers in this country. And I said more than you're willing to probably guess, and more than you're comfortable with probably thinking about. So don't be scared. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Have faith. But that also means, prepare. Do all that. So that's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you. So don't be afraid. But look, they're already moving, they're on these guys. They open and collapse these chats at will. It's all part of their plans. And you guys, they use salute. Size, action, location, uniforms, time, date, and equipment. What do you see? How many of them are there? What are they doing? Where are they and where are you? What are they wearing? What do they look like? What time are you seeing them? What type of equipment do they have? Because that means what are their capabilities? And what are their intentions? If they're just walking on the street, okay, it's one thing. If they're dressed up like they're about to storm Fallujah, that's another thing. All those things give you information about your sources. And you might say, well, shit, that's the stuff I report anyway. Yeah, but there's a reason why the military does that. You got to do these things. Salute, pace, lace, status of your unit, unit check-ins and giving status reports, knowing all these things. It's stuff they're training. Stuff you need to understand. Sweet Tooth says it's going to be an escape from New York scenario. The problem is, escape from New York, but it's well, where do you going to see happen? Well, think about it. It's the United States of America. What are we going to see? We're going to see all kinds of shit. You're going to see shit in Washington. You're going to see shit in Atlanta. Where there are massive Antifa cells. Dallas. You're going to see stuff out in LA. You're going to see stuff in Portland. You're going to see stuff all the way up in Seattle. You're probably going to see more stuff in Minneapolis. Chicago might pop off. You're probably going to see stuff in Denver. It's going to go down. Maybe in New York. I don't know as much, but you might see stuff in New York. And then, eventually someone, right, wrong, or indifferent, the police are going to clip somebody somewhere. So maybe in Omaha, Nebraska, they're going to show up because a guy gets shot by the police. Maybe there's something that's going to happen in Salt Lake City, which has a massive Antifa organization. Maybe a guy gets shot in Phoenix, or a guy gets shot in Albuquerque. Remember, New Mexico's a heavily left state. Something happens in Milwaukee, or God forbid, Cleveland. Any number of places, this stuff is going to kick off. So it's not really escape from New York scenario. There's kind of where do you go when everything's on fire? There's no escaping that. So, man, DSP is going to be upset when his DoorDash isn't delivered. Yeah. Oh. It's just, Kitty says, woo, I don't live in those places. Wherever you live, it's kind of in The Patriot, when Mel Gibson points out, this war is coming for you. It will be fought in your communities. No matter where you live, you're going to have some dingbat liberals. And some of them might be armed. Some of them might be militant. It's not, nowhere will be safe. The entire country is going to be in play. So nowhere is safe territory. So Voa says, when does it go from cold to hot? It's kind of one of those deals. You remember I told you, if you walk outside, if you grab your gun and you're standing on your porch and everybody's out there, then you know it's go time. What is that? I don't know. You'll know when you'll know when it happens. You'll know when it happens. So just telling you guys. Don't get clipped. Yeah, well, not getting clipped is a very good thing. Not getting clipped is a very good idea. Sorry guys, just getting through this. There's more stuff these guys are doing. Like what are we like? Who are these updates? People are talking about I was on foot walking my dog, so I had to leave. But confirmed, two are in the front seats. Like, I mean, these guys are very involved. The police called back and said ISIS jurisdiction and said to call back if they hindered public safety. So that we know the police are involved with them. Just giving, not even salute, but basic information. Heading east on foot. Home base suspected me. It should be soon, 15 minutes. Like here, they found out Cam Higby's driving around. But they point out, notice they're even critiquing themselves. We made a spectacle trying to chase him off. We helped make a propaganda video. They realize they didn't do a good job of their counter surveillance. When you're doing surveillance, part of it, well, unless you're intending to be observed, good surveillance and reconnaissance is not being observed. Because if your target knows he's being surveilled, he may change his defensive posture. He may change his techniques and procedures. He may change a lot of things. So real surveillance should not be noticed. And that's not something they're good at. It takes being good at surveillance and doing parallels and following people and anticipating movement. That's hard. But staying on someone's ass, that's easy. That's staying on someone's ass. It's easy. So yeah. Yeah, they've been building this up for a long time. They've been preparing. This is preparing. A name of some sort says, I'm going on a big cross-country trip and have 2.5 weeks off already approved. How fucked am I? I don't know. But you think these commie faggots are just going to be okay with the 4th of July? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, I would stick to places where you can carry arms with you across the country. And if you're, pretty much as long as you're not going to the Northeast, you could probably carry guns with you anywhere you want to go. Except for Illinois. Other than that, you can pretty much carry guns where you need to. And I would recommend travel armed where you can travel. Thunderbird says it's like the Warsaw Uprising, but gay and Marxist. Yes. Yes. Oh. Publius Rises said home base is University of Minnesota. Chairman Lamau says, Dear YouTube, please stop showing me ads for senior dating sites and chat every 5 minutes. Yours truly, Chairman Lamau. If you quit looking at granny porn, it probably won't do that for you. But the internet learns. If you keep watching old ladies get hollowed out and, they say, stop, you're going to raise my blood pressure too much. Or you're breaking my hip. You got to quit watching that. Watch something else. Oh. It's just stuff you need to understand. Oh. Staying out of major cities is a good thing, but that's not enough there, though. It's not enough there, though. Yeah, they have training manuals. They have radio scheduled training. This would fit. I agree. It would fit an insurrection far better. But yes, they are very well organized. Bob Johnson, Frycore now. I mean, yeah. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Stephen Thuggin says, I can't have a gun in Illinois. I mean, if you live in Illinois and you have a firearms owner ID card, yes, but I would avoid traveling through the state of Illinois with firearms, just like I would avoid traveling through the state of New York with firearms. Like California, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Illinois. I mean, even Delaware, really, at this point, probably. Like, there's a lot of states I'd avoid traveling with guns through. It's very fucking dangerous. You might even have to add Washington and Oregon on that list. And at some point, maybe Virginia. Like, there's a lot of dangerous states to go to carrying firearms. I would not recommend. There are ways you can do it and do it safely, but it's far easier for me to tell you if you don't go to that state, you don't have the risk. Like, if I have to drive through Illinois, but instead I go through Indiana and I drive down and around Illinois to keep going, you know what? I don't have any risk. Now, does that mean if I drive straight through the center of Illinois and I go through and don't stop, I won't have any problems? No, I probably won't. But are you willing to risk that thing, or is it easier to take a guaranteed no risk? That's the balance you have to make. Talk to an attorney in your local area, and they'll advise you properly. So that's how I would phrase that. Yeah, those guilt searches are haunting. Yes. Yes. He watches granny porn. He watches diaper porn, but it's for depends. Oh. Shove it in your VCR says Indiana's going to be a fucked hub for this shit. Probably Indiana, Columbus, Pittsburgh, Philly. I mean, yeah, you're going to see these things pop up everywhere. But I'm just saying big ones where they have dedicated, very active cells. So we'll see. We'll see. So. I like the tricks I learned at Woodstock. Yes, and this is correct, Shredder. Having a right doesn't mitigate the risk associated with exercising that right in a dangerous environment. That is on the fucking money. That is on the money. It's so money, and I don't know if you even know it. You're so money and you don't even know it. That's one that's yeah. So money and you don't even know it. I'm thinking you're probably gonna be like, well, I know it's money. I said it. Krusty Moko says, I do have Illinois has a few sanctuary gun counties. Yeah, but I'm just like you're traveling on I-80. The Illinois State Police are gonna pull you over. That gun county don't mean shit. And yeah, they say they're gonna not enforce the law. I wouldn't trust them. If I don't know that local law enforcement, I wouldn't trust it. So it's just something to think about. Just something about. If this happens how we're thinking it will, the grounds for the Insurrection Act, it certainly would be, but that's a last stop. That's a last stop. That's not what we want to go to, guys. Once that door gets open, it's going to be hard to put it back. Trump hasn't done it for a reason because he knows that's the Rubicon. The Insurrection Act is the Rubicon, and he doesn't want to go there. And I don't blame him for not wanting to go there yet. I'm not wanting to blame him for go there. And we'll talk about Trump got a fucking dub here. And he didn't have to cross the Rubicon. So, but it's kind of one of those deals you'll know. You'll know. The Insurrection Act loses midterms. The Insurrection Act fucking probably ends the Republic. Either because here's what's going to happen. Either we win and fucking kill them all, or, we're going to basically, not have elections and hope we can limp along for a while. Like, at that point, once that happens, guys, it's like Caesar. When Caesar crossed the Rubicon, there were only two options, win or die. Either Caesar was going to win or Pompey was going to, Caesar would stand on Pompey's corpse or Pompey was standing on Caesar's corpse. Those are the only two outcomes at that point. So I'd rather him not do that because once we kick that off, that's it. You can't unkick the kickoff. I'd rather we not do that as long as possible. But what I can tell you is, Jay Caesar always wins, bish. But here's my point. we're gonna get to the enough with the doom pilling. Enough with the doom pilling. Enough with the doom pilling, chat. Enough with the doom pilling. Enough with the doom pilling. Let's get to what happened and why I panicked earlier. Let's get to why I panicked. And real quick, though, before we get too far, I need to get to this because I saw it and I don't want that person to feel left out. Paul Myriam Media, thanks for upgrading. But see, all it says is you became a member. So thank you for re-upping. Stephen Cooper gifting 10 more subs. Thank you. And where is Shredder S07 for 10 more subs? They're doing their part, chat. Are you doing your part? Are you doing your part to get ready? Because that's what's critical. Are you doing your part?
Fight for the future.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
They're doing their part. Are you?
Are you doing your part? Are you doing your part, chat? God, my hair. I'm having a bad hair day today. Couldn't keep my shit combed up right. So let's actually really quick here. IG8857 says, I've seen a lot of gun tubers like Guns and Gadgets and Mr. Gun Tuber and even Eric Pratt from GOA defending armed, protesting, and calling Second Amendment rights. It is. It is a Second Amendment right. It is a right to go out armed and protest. But just like if you walk into the woods in Alaska with a suit made out of fucking bacon, you might get mauled to death by a fucking bear. As long as you understand that's an outcome, go for it. But let's it happen and go, oh no, how could this have happened? That's the problem. Because the people are saying there are some people who've been retarded, like Kash Patel and Christy Noem. They've been retarded. But on the other end, this full idea of well, if you say anything wrong, it's well, no, I'm just telling you what's going to happen. Remember, there are outcomes. There are outcomes. It's everybody's being retarded is the problem here. Everybody's being retarded is a problem. You can carry and protest. You can carry and protest and impede law enforcement, but you're probably going to get fucking killed. You can do it. But you're the idea of you getting killed, whether or not it's justified or not, doesn't matter. Do you think Alex Brady gives a shit if he got killed in a justified or unjustified way? No, he's fucking dead. Dead is dead. So it doesn't matter. As long as you understand, what he did, he increased the risk for himself. Yeah, go ahead and go do whatever you want. But do you understand you're increasing the risk to yourself? As an attorney, it's my job to explain that to you. Do you understand what you're doing? As long as you go into it knowing what you're facing, by all means, God bless. God bless. Do as you wish. But understand what the fuck you're doing. And act like this is, completely unforeseeable. Well, no, it's 100% fucking foreseeable. That's why I wouldn't fucking do that. If you want to do it, you got to plan. And if you can't plan, then you're not going to fucking make it anyway. And I'm not saying to you, I'm just saying, yes, in general, some of them are being overly retarded about it, but I don't know what else to do for some of those guys. But I mean, there's also the whole idea they're revolutionary communists, so fuck arming the revolutionary communists. I don't care that they're armed, and I don't necessarily care that they're armed. They're not, they're only using it so they can kill you and put you in a ditch. Now, for me, they'd have to dig a really big ditch, but they will if they have to. So, why are these gun organizations defending communists? Because they think that that's principled. And because that's a problem. That's a problem. But hey, you're never going to convince them. They want to go hard in the paint. And they feel because they know they're going to get guilted by the left. And they think this is a way they can insulate themselves. But remember, all these groups, the Giffords group was praising Alex Brady, but now they're supporting the Virginia assault weapons ban the next day. Because they're dumb enough to think the fucking leftists are their friends. Or, hey, we all like guns. We can all be together. No, they fucking hate you. They fucking hate you. And it's the I'm on your side meme. If you guys haven't seen this, this is them. I'm on your side. meme. It's very true. It's a very true meme. If you guys haven't seen it, where the hell is it? Damn it, I can't find it right now. Where is crap? If you guys haven't seen it before, you know what I'm talking about. It's the guy wearing body armor getting strangled by Black Lives Matter, by Antifa, and by all these other groups, and it's like, but I'm on your side. The Second Amendment's for all. It's like, well, they don't care about that. They don't care about that, man. Like, this is all means to an end, my white friend. It's a means to an end. Oh, hold on here, chat. I need to where is it? I posted it on Twitter recently. Yeah, here we go. The commies are not your fucking friends. I'm on your side to support your Second Amendment rights. They don't fucking care. You know? Look at the Troonies, the Troons killing you. And then Antifa killing you, but I'm on your side. We all have guns. They don't fucking care. And it's because they're not thinking ahead. They're not thinking ahead. They think breaking bread with the revolutionary communists is a good idea. I don't think so. Number one, they don't deserve to eat bread. Then go wait in line for it. But it's because they're idiots. It's because they're not thinking clearly. They want to be liked. And they think that these people care about principles. I mean, that's really the sad thing there. So, and hold on one more second, chat. We're back. Sorry. But that's why they do it. Because they think this, like, makes them, like, look good or something. But this is what that leads to. You can't trust these fucking people. And then real quick, Mikey Machines for 10 more subs. Let's fucking go, chat. Let's go. Remember, guys, when you guys buy memberships, when you guys do memberships, you are making America green again. You are praying the gray away. I'm glad I could I invented that and people use it now. Pray the gray away. Make America green again. And, when you do it, this is literally what you're doing to the grays out there in chat. Yeah, so that's our goodest boy, Clyde. He turns into a robot and crushes all the grays. It's just just like I said, something to think about out there. Yeah. So, anyways, let's move on. Let's move on to the good news. We got good news, chat, and we need good news because here's what happened. Here's what happened. Eric Athena says, the gray doesn't look bad on me. You can pull it off. Some people can't. Well, thanks. I try. And look at this chat. This luscious gray hair. This thick gray hair. Not Norwooded at all. Not Norwooded at all. Anyways, let's keep going here. Let's keep going. Guys, some of your other super chats are out there. Let's move on. And here's where I started panicking earlier. This right here. I panicked. Because it says governor called me with respect to work together is a very good call. We seem to be on a wavelength. And I'm like, oh no. I told Governor Walz that I would Tom Homan call him, which, remember, they don't like Bavino, but they hate Tom Homan. And what they were looking for in any all criminals they have in their possession. The governor understood that. I respect it. He was happy that Tom Homan was going to Minnesota, and so am I. He says, we've had success in D.C., Memphis, Tennessee, and New Orleans, Louisiana, and virtually every other place we have touched. Even in Minnesota, crime is way down. But both Governor Walz and I want to make it better. I was like, oh, you gotta be fucking shitting me. And to be fair, guys, I know some of you out there were like, what? Oh, no. Oh, no. And, there was just... to doom. I mean, that's part of what I naturally do. It's okay. It's just, you saw all kinds of shit out there. You saw all kinds of shit out there. Like this stuff got it got demoralizing. It got demoralizing. If you guys don't know who Greg Bavino is, he is the, ICE in the Border Patrol Border Patrol commander out in El Centro, California. This is him wearing his Border Patrol uniform, which they do wear Sam Brown belts and all that. And I like the blue. Like, the problem with this coat is, like, you need to wear gloves if you're going to wear a coat like this. Wearing it like an overcoat without your fucking gloves looks just goobery. You look like a little kid. So it's very Hugo Boss, yeah. But it was just like, oh fuck, he's going away, and it's not working. Like this is, it was really concerning. There was, Bavino's leaving and a bunch of the Border Patrol guys were leaving, that he might be getting fired, that all things were going on here. There were all kinds of issues. There were all kinds of issues here. It doesn't, oh, we'll see. We'll see. Because I hope Tom Homan, remember, Tom Homan's the guy, like, he was gorilla pimp with all this shit. He was crushing these motherfuckers. How do you shoot a gun with gloves on? Well, like, is the gun wearing gloves, or do you mean, like, wearing gloves and shooting? I mean, like, they make gloves that have quite a bit of dexterity. Besides, he's not going to be, like, if something were to happen to him, he has a protection. He has, like, he has Border Patrol guards. He has a protection detail with him. He's got dudes that are going to have guns, and they're going to get him out of there. So he doesn't necessarily need to shoot, but, like, God forbid something kicks off, take your fucking gloves off, or wear gloves with dexterity in them. But, like, just, like, he looks like a little kid wearing his dad's trench coat. Now, if you really need to, but yeah, Tom Homan was Obama's dude. And yeah, Tom Homan's in charge of all of that, but like, yeah, bring him back in, tap, like, we're calling in the lefty, chat. We're calling him in. But I got doomed. Because here's what else we saw. Like, right after that, yesterday, this guy, I had a productive call with Trump. I told him we need impartial investigations into the shootings, and we need to reduce the number of federal agents in Minnesota. And I was like, fuck. And he said the president agreed to reduce the number of federal agents in Minnesota and talk to DHS about it. And they want to conduct an independent investigation, which, yeah, they ain't not letting them do that. And then Pisco's like, we need charges for the murder of Renee Good. She wasn't murdered. And Alex Preddy, once again, shit happens when you put your cleats on, buddy. I don't think it was murder, but it was totally a disaster. But it's going to be just state charges this week. Yeah, yes. We haven't even, you can't outsource investigations. Well, do you want investigations or charges, Pisco? Which one is it you want, buddy? Like, I get it. You just like, which one is it, man? Which one is it? But I just thought it was interesting that he popped up right there. But anyway, watching this, I was like, fuck, he gave in. Trump bent the knee. Well, it didn't happen, chat. It didn't happen like I thought it did. Because over the weekend, on Sunday, we saw some stuff. And this is at an ICE hotel in Maple Grove, Minnesota, one of the suburbs where the ICE agents were staying. And the ICE agents are staying there, and people showed up to protest. And here we go. These are ICE agents chilling out, drinking fucking beer. Somebody's saying, is it the same Pisco that orbits Grace Thorpe? No. Pisco, no. Pisco would not be involved in that shit. He would not. Pisco is not affiliated with the sector at all. Not at all. Not at all. But there, it was really good. It was really good. Now, I like people trying to put some songs and music to shit, but this happened here, and it got, guys, this shit got biblical. Because look what happened from there. Who got called out? Who got called out, you guys? The Minnesota fucking State Police to this place. And look what happened. They're out there protesting, right? They're out there protesting. These are the Minnesota State Police and local police, and guess what they're doing?
The public safety order to disperse and order all those assembled at the Residence Inn off of Village Drive to immediately disperse and cease your unlawful behavior, which means leave the area peacefully. If you do not do so, you will be subject to arrest or subject to other police action. Other police action could include the use of chemical agents and the use of crowd control tactics or less lethal devices, which may inflict significant pain or result in serious injury.
Now, here's what happened, guys. The Minnesota State Police used the fucking LRAD, that, like, long-range acoustic device. They used that shit on the crowd. Stuff ICE never did. Like, the Minnesota State Police fucking crushed these people. And, I mean, they fucking put them down. I mean, this is, Tim Walz had the fucking police not fuck around. And see, they have guys doing work. They have a guy with a gun. That's how you do this. Oh, no, they're shoving people. Oh, no, it's like the evil ICE. They shove. Now, ultimately, are these guys probably going to get charged with a lot? No. But yeah, they kettled the fuck out of these people. They threw tear gas and flashbangs. They were not fucking around. They were not fucking around. Yeah, that's the other thing, too. Good point, Kay is still here. ICE wasn't walking around with fucking AR-15s ready to fucking start drilling people. These guys have fucking rifles out. This is a harder posture than ICE ever had. And notice with them, it's all about turning on whatever authority is out there. ICE is leaving. They like go home. No, they have to keep protesting because they're locked into fucking fight mode. Here you go. They're going to fight the local cops now. This is from BG on the scene, by the way. Like, I don't understand. They won. Go home. Like, go home. You won. If using noise is legal, then the LRAD is legal. The LRAD is legal. And they used it on them that night. On Sunday night, these guys got fucking LRADed. 100%. Like, last night, they got hit with the LRAD. They got fucking lit up with it. Like it was a thing. So I mean, it was a real thing that happened. Now, I mean, here's the other things you need to look at, like Hassan Piker. It looks like local and state administrators might have folded and will let ICE continue with Minneapolis with local law enforcement protection. Yeah. It's almost like we'll help you like you initially asked for. So, yeah, Trump broke these people. They gave up. They gave up. Yeah. Hassan is blackpilling. Let's go! Suffer, Turk. Suffer. Show the LRAD. I don't have the LRAD clip, but I saw it earlier when I was in court. I was waiting for a case. I was out in the hallway. I saw the LRAD clip. Oh my god, it was so fucking funny. By the way, chat, you can Google here on YouTube how to build your own LRADs. You might need to know that for the future. You could build it from shit from Walmart. Pretty easy. Oh, I wonder what the president's leverage was. I think he told Walz, "I'll fucking break you," and Walz realized he couldn't hold out forever. I bet Trump told him, "I'll fucking stack the bodies like firewood, motherfucker." Yeah, the feds probably also were pointing out we're going to start rolling up every fucking thing imaginable. So, yeah, they really thought that the state police would be warring with ICE. Z Star says you can defeat the El Rabbit takes. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Hold on here. No, it doesn't. It doesn't take that much. It doesn't take that much. You want how you defeat an LRAD? You know what you defeat? You know how you defeat the LRAD? Here's how we defeat LRAD. Like this, guys. This is a channel called Tech Ingredients. Here. This is a channel you guys need to watch if you want to learn some good stuff. It's called Tech Ingredients. This is a 5-year-old thing. This guy, they run a company. They home build an LRAD. This is a lot more sophisticated than what you could build cheaply. But you know how you defeat fucking you know how you defeat LRAD? Well, if you have like a riot shield, it blocks all the noise. But you know what? Like here, we'll show this here. Where is his let's see here. Where is here. Standard hearing protection. I'm going to show you guys right now. You know how close he could get before it knocked him out? All the way back there, nothing. You know, earplugs got you. Like, look how close it got you with earplugs. And then finally, you know what it takes? Fucking hearing, like ear protection. Ear protection. That's like, I see all these people at these events screaming and whistling and everything. Even the ICE guys, I'm like, I'd be wearing some fucking earmuffs if I were you. You're going to go fucking deaf. He's a leftist tool, but the info's good. Yeah. Like, he shows, like, earmuffs, you could basically get within touching distance of an LRAD. If you have a, riot shield or some sort of blocking device, but a riot shield works as clear, you basically can walk up to the motherfucker and touch it. But think about it. Like, if you were going to do all this stuff, you know, Peltor Comtax, yeah, but the problem is you can't turn them on. If you turn on your electronic earmuffs, you basically are stuck back there. You have to turn them off. And then, you know, chat, if you have a set of fucking earmuffs and a fucking gas mask, you're fucking good to go. You're fucking good to go. Tear gas, LRAD, flashbangs, you're like... Yeah, there you go. And Chairman Lamal says, so if it worked, they're not wearing earplugs. Yeah, they're retards. Yeah. Yeah, he's got a lot of good videos. So this one's Sean Shills. Yes, you know what? Yes, this stream is sponsored to you by Raycon and Raid Shadow Legends. But I'm serious. Guys, get yourself an M40 gas mask or an MC 2-U gas mask like the Navy wears that are the solid piece. Get you a couple 40mm canisters. have some fucking earmuffs. If you ever go to protests or you're out and about playing, if you go play these reindeer games, you'll be invincible. You'll be buffed beyond belief. So Clippy's Revenge says you're also easier to blindside. Well, yeah, if you're blinded, but if they're busting out the LRAD, nobody's bum rushing you. The people that are using the LRAD are going to stand behind it because they don't want to get exposed to it. And everybody out in front of the LRAD is going to be all fucking over there. Mr. Bubonic Chronic says, at least I got paid to lose my hearing. Well, there you go. So. You have a regular gas mask? Like, hold on, chat. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second here. Regular gas mask? Like, what do you mean? Oh, gotta move that box. Gotta move this box. Gotta move the parts kit. Hold on, chat. Oh, come on, you fucker. You're all the way in there, aren't you? Damn, I forgot I put out more in the back. Well, that was embarrassing. I thought I was not quick enough. Man, if the feds try to tear gas me, I would not be ready in time. Hold on, chat. So you guys are wondering, where do you buy a gas mask? You go and buy one. You go and buy one of these cocksuckers. Go and buy one. It's not hard. Google M40 gas mask for sale. Don't buy off eBay. I don't recommend that. But you can go out and buy them. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, guys. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Like you start here. Gas mask. The M40 series. It's $80. They're out of stock. But you could buy these, the MCU 2Ps. These are the Navy and Air Force gas masks. They're still rated the same. They're like $85, but you buy once, cry once. You could choose your sizes. You could get a carry bag for it. And then you buy some canisters. You buy some NATO canisters here. Yeah, they're $24, but you don't have to open it till it's time. And you don't need both canisters. You could buy a couple. But yeah. It's easy shit. Google it. Google it. It's out there. Google it. So that's a free tip. It's a special tool that may help you later. You have a fat back. I have a fatter head than you do, and mine fit me. My M40 fits me. Yeah, the Air Force doesn't use them anymore, but I'm pointing out that they were military approved. Yeah. You take care of the mask, they last a long time. User 404 says, put it on. Not for anything else. You can't be a neckbeard to wear a gas mask. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, if it gets to the point where I think I'm going to need it, I probably would shave up. But I have to shave Clyde's beard. It's not going to seal the beard. Well, I'm not worried about it right now. But yeah, you'll have to shave to wear it. I know. But yeah, it's simple. You just have it. I don't have mine set up right, but you just pull it out and you put it on. And it works. I mean, yes. No one. Yes. Anonymous. Yes. I'll try this real quick. Hold on. Also, you need to worry about your glasses. That's a separate matter for another day that I'm working on. But yes. No one who cared who I was till I put on the mask. But yes, this is, work on pressure test it and all that fun stuff. There's all kinds of things you need to learn how to do, but yeah, it's out there. Learn your shit, guys. Gas mask, Baofeng radio, groups, all that stuff. All that stuff out there. It's all out there. You're welcome. You're welcome. But it's all stuff you need to do. Get your eyes lasered. I don't know about that. That still freaks me out, man. That freaks me out. So, there's a gel that helps keep the seal intact. I mean, yeah, or I could just probably slather Vaseline on, but I'd probably just shave. Digital Nuisance says you ain't get a good seal with that beard. I know for right now I'm not, but later. When I show up with the shaved beard, you'll know it's time. I know. Well, I thought about doing this to 2.0 one day just because, like, when I first met her, I didn't have a beard. But almost immediately I was growing one. Like within probably a month of meeting her, I was already having a beard. So it's been like almost 6 years since she's seen me without a beard. And I thought one day I would just shave it and surprise her. And then I'd come on here and chat and be like, and I just act like I didn't know what happened for a month. And by then my beard would probably grow back. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? My beard's still here. Oh. Well, I did that, and that's better. I dance for you now, so I deserve a shekel. Oh. So. But anyways, getting back to this, Hassan seems like some shit not happy about it. We also have some other parties who are not happy about what's going on. There are some other parties who are not happy about what's going on here. And you could see it. And if they're upset, I agree. This does make sense. If they're pissed off, that should tell you a lot. This is outside Tim Walz's office today. They're pissed. Justice denied. Justice delayed. Justice denied. Justice delayed. Justice denied. Justice denied. And then also this whole thing here with, they're upset. They're upset. They're very, very upset, chat. J-Rock says that he never played the LRED video. Well, the LRED video hurts a lot in your ears to listen to it. But I'm just saying, if you wear earmuffs, you're probably safe. And it just keeps going because, like, tonight, these guys are fucking, like, they're storming a Hilton hotel in Manhattan. No KKK, no fascist USA, no ICE, no KKK. And look, they're like kit bashing all the narratives together. No ICE, she's wearing the keffiyeh. So, like, we got, like, the Free Palestine shit in the middle of all of this. Like, it just... They're like, it's like PCU. They're kit bashing all their stuff together. No KKK, no fascist USA, no ICE. No KKK, no fascist USA, no ICE. No KKK, no fascist USA, no ICE. No KKK. But it's funny. It's like, they're pissed. They're pissed. And that's a sign. And yeah, somebody got dog walked. Somebody got dog walked. Somebody got dog walked. And I shouldn't have, yeah. Well, yes, they're always professionally made signs. That's what they do. Yeah. So. But yeah, there you go. There you go. So yes. Do you see someone? Yes, we did that. We'll cover it again in a minute. So. Oh, I know, El Augusto. When I worked at, a keffiyeh is a very good scarf. It's thin and it's light, and you could, like, 1 or 2 wraps around your face, and you're, like, blocked from the wind. It's very, very good in the cold. When I worked at FedEx, I used to wear one. I had a blue and white one that I had from, like, paintball when I played paintball, and, like, yeah, it's great. You just, have a scarf that you can pull right up, and it's a big scarf too. And it keeps you nice and warm, and it's very insulating. It's got a lot of good things. It's got a lot of properties. So yeah, they're very good. They're very, very good. So you could just wear a scarf. Yeah, but there's only so many scarves you can wear. Yeah, well, that was a scarf I bought for like $10, and I bought it like in 2007 when like Call of Duty 2 came out, and like, oh, that looks awesome, brother. That's why, and I've had it forever. So, yes, this wouldn't have happened if goddamn Zoe Quinn didn't fuck critics for better video game scores. Yes. Yes, we just need Trump to tweet out Gamergate, which I hope he does at one point. What knot did you use? I didn't use a knot. I just kind of wrapped and good enough. So, but there's different knots and ways you can do it. So, I wore my infidel shirt. No, I was never that cringe. And also, technically, I guess the way you read that, that symbol of infidel is not even like just non-believer in Islam, but I guess non-believer in any of the Abrahamic religions, which certainly I'm not. I believe in Christianity. So, pardons Gamergate. It's his last date. Yes, that would be great. Dicks out for Harambe. Yes. All right, guys. Now, from here, other stuff that happened. Remember, all the warrants for arrest and against all the church busters have been withdrawn. Now, what does that mean? Yeah, a grand jury might be getting ready to be convened, but once again, it's just like the James Comey and Letitia James shit. It's going to get blown up. Number one, you're dealing with a bed full of communists in Minnesota, but also the DOJ is retarded. Pam Bondi's an idiot. So, I mean, ultimately, were these probably going to succeed anyway? Like I told you, no, because they'll pick a jury and they'll get some DFL fucking lunatics on there and get acquittals. So, this one's a loss. This one's a loss we're going to have to take. We're going to have to take the L here. But in the meantime, there's been some good, spicy meatballs at this point. So January 6, 2.0 says, Sean, stop. My nips can only get so hard. Well, there you go. It's like, no, I'm going to be like Trump. Your nips are going to get so hard. You're going to say, stop. And I'm like, no, they must get harder. Oh, God. Now I got to figure out where I am in the comments here. Anonymous, did I cover? Yeah, thoughts of Cash's comments at 2:08 about a protest. Cash is a fucking idiot. Jefferson Post says, I'm feeling more like all the sanctuary cities learn their only choice are the easy way or the hard way. Yeah, but I still think a bunch of them are going to want to buck. Portland's going to be like, fuck that. We can, we'll step to the government. We can do it better than they can. I guarantee you're going to see that. I guarantee you're going to see that in LA. They're going to step to LA again. So, Jefferson Post says, what about my right to inhale bleach and ammonia? Yeah. I wouldn't recommend you do it, but you're right to do it. That means you're against it. You're against phosgene. No, I just don't think you should do it. I just don't think you should inhale it. Profuso for $10 says, is there any way to nuke qualified immunity? The only way it will get nuked is if Congress abolishes it or the Supreme Court repeals its decision. Remember, the Supreme Court created qualified immunity. So, probably not. Probably not. Here's what I'm going to say. Like, if you want qualified immunity, the day the Supreme Court reads the opinion abolishing qualified immunity, they're also going to read one saying everybody can have fucking machine guns. That's that. And I'm not trying to demean you. I'm just saying in general, like, that's when that's going to happen, which is never. So, oh my God, in the back of my head, like fucking alfalfa in the back. Jeez. Jesus, that's not good. My hair is just shit today. Jefferson Post says, are we looking for Weather Underground type groups to pop up? They're already out there operating. That Cell in Dallas was basically like a Weather Underground group. They just went overt too quick. But yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen any bombings yet. I really am. P-Dub says the Ukrainian GRU. Oh, I guarantee if those whole holes get involved, ooh, buddy. If they ever got involved, I hope we glass Kiev. Toto Vader says sapping morale, like calling them Gestapo. Yeah, but more like sapping their morale by showing that they can't operate with impunity. Like that you can, if you can operate with impunity and they can't stop you, that saps morale. Muspel brings up a great point here. Signal was created by Navy intel guys, just like Tor was created by naval intelligence to give people secure access. Their operatives when they were working. To think it's secure is to be a fool. If it's electronic, okay, here's the deal, chat. If you didn't make the communication method, it's not secure. You should assume it's being penetrated. But that's why, and this is something the Antifa people understand, you have different types of comms. You have white comms, you have black comms, you have red comms. Like you have the networks, you have the white one, you use it all the time. You have the red one, you use it like it's got a little bit of work going. You have the black one that's never been used and is ready to go. The only, like the best way to avoid your comms from being intercepted is the enemy not knowing you're using that method of comms. It's why during the whole Russiagate scandal, Nellie Orr and some of the scumbags involved in that were using ham radios. Ham radios aren't encrypted. But if you don't know to go check the ham radio frequencies and know who's doing it when they're doing it, nobody ever knew. So the biggest part of ComSec is just not being observed or known. Because if they know you're using it, then they can find it. And eventually they will. So that's really the thing. You should always assume your communications are being monitored. Cause you to operate more effectively. Anonymous says, it's okay, Sean, you could have my K-word pass. Kitchen. Thank you. I wanted to say that. Maelstrom says, the right might is well armed but disorganized. These guys are highly coordinated. Not highly coordinated, but when you're not coordinated, basic coordination is like you're light years ahead of the other guys. So they're not highly coordinated, but they're coordinated. Like when the other side's not coordinated, they're coordinated enough. It says, what tactics you suggest when the government becomes tyrannical? Work on your communities and find people and things you can agree with. Build communities. Like, build those. Those networks are going to be critical. And like I said, it's not even the government's going to be tyrannical. It's going to be, you're going to be dealing with other groups at that point more than anything. And if you can handle fighting those groups, you can handle fighting the government. But yeah, it's like you develop these, resistance organizations. You develop these aid groups. That's how you do it. You build communities. Jefferson Post says, any eyes on Carl Casada and the gun troons? They're already known. Those people are already well known. They've been documented. People know who they are. So yeah, but I'm sure they're being inspected. I'm sure they're being noticed. Tim and Tams for 10 Australian dollary doodles. Thank you, Tim. Good to see you, man. Says call center / retail customer service skills will teach you basic group communication. The industry is dominated by women who are leftists generally. It's no wonder these people are so organized. Yeah. But also, I mean, they understand, like, communist insurgencies have been all over the world. Like, they share data and learning. Jefferson Post says, are 24-hour gay ops and A-logging legit counters? I mean, it's part of the information warfare and in the information battle space, certainly. It's part of it, but it's not going to be like the end-all be-all. Like I said, the only way you counter this is with organizational, weight of your own. It's going to be like Colombia in the 80s and 90s. On one side, you had the FARC, the fucking communists, and on the other side, you had the other defense union, the AUC. And what did they do? The left and the right fucking had it out. And then you got the government off to the side, and then you had the cartel. And then after a while, like you saw watching, fucking Narcos, you had Los Pepes. But you had all these groups just going fucking at it. but it was mainly the FARC and the AUC just going at it and banging it out. Yes, chat needs to realize Antifa can read field manuals too. Yes, they can read the FMs. They can read all kinds of stuff. You know, all this shit on my shelf, they can read it too. And a lot of them have. Amateur iconoclast. Also, Neutral Robinson. That's a good point. Amateur iconoclast says if Excel Energy uses the same software I use, they could have access the docs of millions if they get somebody in the right job. And probably. I mean, all that information is vulnerable. VTubing enthusiast, member for 2 months. Thank you. Says, are you wearing pants? I'll let you decide. I'll let you make up whatever answer you want. How about that? Whatever answer you want, yes. Hold on here, chat. Sorry. Trying to get through all these. I know you guys are out there. I don't want you guys to be left hanging. We try to get everybody's answers here. In chat, like you said, if you haven't noticed, just, you know, if you got good questions or comments catch my eye, you get thrown in the mix too, so don't worry. Island says it seems crazy if you're looking at the people on the streets. They aren't the ones doing it, they're the useful idiots. The politically expedient sacrifices, yeah, but they're part of they are the visual manifestation of the organization. But you're very correct, Island. I hope you're doing well. Paul Myra, yes, like I said, I'm sorry, I didn't see it. My bad. Like that. Treasure Island again says, YouTube is asshole for deleting my super chat. They're in on it. No, it was there, but thank you for the super chat again. Paul Myra Media says, hey, New England is very blue and very gay, but we do love our firearms. Trust me on that one. I'm not saying you don't, but being a gun owner who lives in Connecticut or Massachusetts is one thing. I would never, you couldn't pay me to fucking drive through those states as an Ohio resident with an AR-15 in my trunk of my car. Fuck that. Fuck that. Especially CT says, especially Connecticut, nothing says guns like a good mixture of rich and the poor and the blue. I understand. I'm just saying, like, if you're not a resident of those states, it's very perilous. Very, very perilous. I am Uncle Bob. It's been a member for 14 months. Thank you for being here. 1,000 correct, Sean. 1,000% correct. Shit, it's fan for midterms. It's not going to be fully, but it's going to make 2020 look like Disneyland. Mega Mobas says, I just popped in. Is it irony that Preddy was carrying a P320 or just general libtardism? I mean, it's still a popular fucking handgun. A lot of people have it. Yeah, but it's very good. It's a high quality gun. Like, you know, except for the going off part. But yeah, it's not a surprise that he had something like that. I mean, is it a surprise that he had a custom, like he had a $2,500 P320 with like a fucking aimpoint acro and everything on it? Yeah, that's a little surprising. It was actually an impressive taste in firearm selection. Thank you, by the way. Teutonic Archer. Oh, God. That was strokified. Teutonic Archer. Very based. Says, where were all the armed right-wingers at January 6th if they've always been in favor of armed protests? Once again, when we go to that diagram, the guys who went to January 6th understood this fucking thing. They understood this motherfucker here. They understood carrying a firearm protesting is risky. It also could lead to illegal outcomes. So you know what they did? They just went like this and said, we're just going to pretend like, you know, they looked at this and said, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to stick with the protesting part. We're just going to stick with the protesting part. And guess what happens? Then nobody dies and it's not, you know, and look what happens. You remove all that and you go, if you don't carry a firearm, look what happens. You just have protesting. This is the point that these idiots don't understand. The smart people understand what they're dealing with. And they understand when they're fucking around and doing dangerous things. So that's why. And I think you're asking rhetorically, but yes. Leroy X says Sean's T levels test themselves, bro. 1000%. So shut the fuck up. Well, yeah. Thanks. IG88 says that's libertarian bullshit, but just because you can doesn't mean you should. Fuck communists and fuck libertarians. Yeah, well, remember at the end of the day, libertarians don't believe in Westphalian sovereignty. They don't believe in border control. They don't think that immigration should be restricted. They think of a free market, like basically they can own a plantation of slaves at some point. Like there's nothing wrong with having libertarian ideas, but at some point, they're called libertarians for a reason. And they can eat a dick up till they hiccup. So, and then Chooching, did you come back with another 10? Did you already did you already do this once? Yes, Chooching with 10 more subs. God damn. Fucking on fire tonight, you guys. Thank you. Thank you for support, your generosity. I think it's another awoo from Clyde. The best dog in the world. Another awoo from Clyde. Sad we're never I can't catch those awoos on camera. I can never catch them on camera. Petsy Man says, wasn't the judge who refused to hand out the warrant in the first place affiliated with the group that gives free legal counsel? No. His wife is an assistant attorney general in Keith Ellison's office. So he refused to sign it at all. Because his wife, because the commies. The commies. Don't have to take the L we choose to. Well, yeah, but, there's also nothing wrong with noticing the L's are out there. Access, can we fire everybody but Rubio? Rubio and Homan, yeah, it's not a bad idea. Can the Fed still put the charge to the grand jury, Ara? Yes. But remember, here's the problem. Your grand jury is going to be composed of people from the District of Minnesota. Remember, in Minnesota federal court, there is no northern and southern district of Minnesota. There's only one district of Minnesota. So ideally, you're going to have people from that region around Minneapolis come in. You're not going to get people from 5 hours away showing up for grand jury duty. You'll get some, but remember, grand jury does not need unanimous consent to issue an indictment. But, are they going to get enough people to support it? Remember, Letitia James, the Eastern District of Virginia, they couldn't get an indictment against her. I can't guarantee they'll get indictments against these guys. And even if they do, can you guarantee that they won't get a jury of people who would acquit them or enough of these commies on a jury that'll give them a hung jury? There's nothing wrong with prosecuting people who deserve to be prosecuted, but don't hold out that these people are going to fucking prison, because they're probably not, even if they should. And that's part of the issue. It's a hostile state with a massive communist problem. And it's a thing, Minnesota's had this problem basically since Minnesota's been Minnesota. Those fucking faggoty, Scandinavian weirdos, they can't fucking stop doing it. Thoughts on Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon? I like her a lot, but she can't, quit giving fucking, interviews. Just get fucking work done. That's what I'll understand what your game plan is by seeing how much ass you're kicking, honey. I don't need you to come on and talk with Benny Johnson and every other jack off on the internet. Just fucking go do the work. That's what I need from you. And then while you're at it, get the government out of the fucking rare breed trigger lawsuit. Get the government out of all this shit. Fix it now, because we don't have time. We don't have much time at all. Chairman Lamau says cash walk those back today. Yeah, but I don't trust. I'm not worried about those people to protect my rights. The government's always going to fuck with you, and you know that. It's just I vote for the side that's I assume is going to fuck me the least. I assume they're still going to fuck me, but I'm just assuming they're not going to do it as hard, or they're going to not choke me out while they're doing it. That's all we are at this point, is how bad are you going to let somebody fuck you? Are you going to let them choke you out and beat you while it happens? Or are you going to be like, at least they're going to give you a kiss on the cheek? You know, that's the reality of it. It's like, and are they going to fuck the other side harder? Yes. Okay, cool. I want that to happen. That's kind of where we are. Let's make no bones about it. That's where we are. We keeping Sean Duffy transportation. Well, I haven't heard him say a thing, so it's great. Oh. What did Cash say? Cash said a bunch of retarded shit. So, Alfalfa was a Turk. Yeah. John Brown Gun Club is a Weather Underground. Yeah, no, I mean, they became a Weather Underground very quickly. Let me see here. What do you... I'm voting for the person that knows the safe word. Well, that too. That's the thing there. Sean confirms he's a gentle lover. Well, who doesn't want a gentle lover? You know, I mean, like, do you want somebody like stepping on your head while they fuck you in the ass? By all means, that's for you, man. That's not for me. I want to be kissed before I get fucked. Yeah. Ploxa said the odds of that are not good, Sean. Yeah, but it's, you know, yeah. It is what it is. Can we cover the rare breed lawsuit? Yes. I'm hoping, I've reached out to somebody you guys have asked me to talk to a couple of times, and I'm trying to work on getting in touch with him. But yes, and I've got the perfect title too. It's called A Rare Breed of Scumbag. And that's because of what rare breed triggers are. They're scumbags. We'll cover it at some point. Yes, pardon CRS. Yes, pardon Matt Hoover. MD Knight says, how long till Pretty sues Sig for getting him killed? Apparently, it wasn't an accidental discharge. Bob Johnson says, will you be our Roland Friesler, Sean? Well, no. Roland Friesler got killed on a bombing raid. No. Roland Friesler dies. No. That's like, no. Like, that's like asking me, do you want to be Carl Schungarth? Or, you know, like, no. No. Like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Or like, you want to be like Rudolph Lenga? No, I'm not doing that either. Josef Bueller. No, I'm not. I'm not being those guys. I'm not going to do those guys. I'm not going to be Heinrich Mueller either. No. And you guys are like, wait, those are guys that the Vontae count. Yeah, so was Roland Friesler. He was there too. Harmeet Block Viva based. So, did Cash redeem? No. When he started playing like when he started jerking off the HRT, House Rescue Team, and like all that shit, no, fuck him. I don't fucking trust him. He needs to stay out of the way. Keep the FBI neutered. What I really hope is happening is Trump is using the DHS and HSI, the Homeland Security Investigations, as a law enforcement organization and kind of sidelining the FBI. Because the FBI is compromised. DHS is probably easier to manipulate. So I'm hoping it's that way. Quicksilver says, you want Turkey Tom as a lover? No, I'm good. Do you want Turkey Tom's love in chat? Yes, some of you probably said that. Yes. That's a shame, says me. I don't want a gentle lover. Well, that's fine. Now you do what you want. We're finally getting the Anna interview? No. Will I be your Von Ryan? Okay. He dies too! No! Stop picking people who die! Stop it. Am I interviewing Hassan? No. Imagine putting the Indians as the head of your FBI. You know, Wall Kisser's your attorney general. Yeah, it's interesting times, Sar. It's interesting times. Let's see here. Let's see. Boosh McFadden. Good to see you, man. Says for $5. Trump rolling, walls cried. I want ICE to keep going until I don't have to press 1 for English anymore. I don't care about leftist cities. Fuck them. I mean, fuck them all. Build the wall. I love it. But oh shit, I forgot. I gotta put this back up. I had a court hearing earlier. Where I do video, and I take it down just to be because people, you can see what it is, you can tell what it is, and I think it helps keeping parties from people being concerned about politics, and my ability just to operate as who I am. Yeah, put it back. Got to put the MAGA hat back up. But yes, fuck them all. Build a wall. Never a bad idea. Another new account. Just got on stream an hour and a half late to catch all the talk about Civil War, the end of the world, and granny porn. So color me interested. Well, thank you for being here. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yes, we could tackle it all, chat, and keep it going. But that is like autism, and I don't know. People say I have ADD, or probably do. I don't know. Sly Kazza says, being the gray man. I mean, literally, yeah. Chuggy Show says, I'm late, but in my defense, the tiny horse had a sign, said Jews only. I had to walk, but it was 30 degrees and the snow wasn't melting. Oh, thank you. Nanamu says, public indecency. I forget what we were talking about at that point. Sorry. Mega Mobas says, you think Timmy Boy is trying to earn brownie points with Trump over the fraud stuff? I mean, like, there's probably some of that, but I just think he realized he's fucking cooked. And either, like, because if Walz actually kept the National Guard going, you know what Trump would probably do? Like, Trump could do what Eisenhower did. What Governor Fabus in Arkansas. Governor Fabus called up the Arkansas National Guard and said, don't let the marshals escort those black kids into schools. So the Arkansas National Guard surrounded schools. You know what Eisenhower did? He said, hey, you know what? You're all now federalized. I'm in charge. I'm your commander-in-chief now. Arkansas National Guard, go back to your armory and go home. That's an order. Guess what they do? They follow orders. And they went home and they went back to their armories and they had to sit there. And then Eisenhower brought in the military. Here's the problem. If Walz called, like, having the guard out to hand out coffee and donuts is one thing, but if the guard did anymore, I think Walz realized he didn't really have many options. Like, now that he brought out the guard, he was going to, like, I think he even realized, if I bring them out, I'm expected to actually make something happen. And he wasn't prepared for that. And also, I think Trump was getting a little worried. Just a little bit. I think Trump was trying to figure an off-ramp. But I think at the end of the day, Walz gave him what he wanted. Fine, we'll help ICE. Like, that's all they had to do from the start. Imagine if there weren't sanctuary cities. Probably none of this would ever be an issue. But good, yeah. But that's a good question, Mega Mobass. And then Aries Athena says, politicians in the media have normalized political violence and hatred for so long, yet act surprised when people act on their darkest impulses. No fucks about our country. DNR just care about their own agenda. Well, yeah. I mean, that's, but to be fair, it's always been that way. You're like, one agenda is good for America or the other agenda is good for America. I mean, really, at the end of that's the point. And one of the agendas is not at all good for America. Is the Republican agenda and the right wing's agenda and Donald Trump's agenda the best for America? Probably not. It's probably not. There's probably better things that can be done. And by I say that, I'm like, sure there are a lot better fucking ideas out there. But is Trump's idea of an agenda far better than the alternative? 100 fucking %. So that, you pick the horse that can win the race. But yeah, I don't disagree at all. Peter Keys for 2 New Zealand dollar doodles says, why no water cannon? It's used elsewhere. Too cold? Yeah, like, Peter, getting, like, I don't know if, like, I know you live in New Zealand, but, like, it's, like, I don't think you understand right now, like, how cold it is here in America and how cold it can get. Like, 40 Celsius, like minus 40 Celsius could easily fucking happen, in a lot of places here. And that the wind just cut, and that's not even just with the wind, but just in general. Like, where I'm at right now, it is 11 degrees Fahrenheit. And today it got up to like 15, and that was a warm day over the past week. Like, over the past week, it's been single digits. Like, every morning you go outside and you start a car, and it's like, brr, brr, brr. Like, it's struggling to start. It's, and like in Minneapolis right now, Like, what's the weather in Minneapolis? In Minneapolis right now, it's 4 degrees. Right now, it feels like minus 11 with the wind. If you got people wet, you could kill them at that weather, at that temperature. You could kill people. They could get frostbite. Like, it's really dangerous. It's really, really dangerous at that point. Like, I would argue that's deadly force because you could cause serious harm with that. But that's the thing, deadly weapons. A baseball bat, if I'm playing baseball, isn't a deadly weapon. A baseball bat, if I'm trying to crush your skull with, is a deadly weapon. A fire hose in the 4th of July isn't a deadly weapon. A fire hose, like on this, January 27th, when it's 4 degrees outside, is a deadly weapon. But yeah, it is brutally cold in America. In like the northern half of the U.S., especially like Ohio westward, you get nasty fucking weather. Nasty fucking weather in the winter. Really bad. I mean, it's, you can have like, Carhartts and snowmobile suits and different things, but like, extended operations outside in cold weather, you need like military grade equipment or like expeditionary grade equipment, like climbing Everest and stuff. Like you need really good stuff to be outside in the weather for a really long time. So like it's a cold if you haven't experienced, I can't explain it more than that. Stephen Cooper says, I don't have a gas mask, but work provides a full 3M face respirator. Well, there you go. That can help. Not the best, though. This user is 404. Says, for the mask. You're welcome, chat. Thank you for $2. I guess that's a quick dance. Mikey Machines for $10. Thank you, by the way. He says, these revolutionaries all need to be put in protective custody for their safety. Hans Hermann Hoppe points out physical removal. It works. Physical removal works. Mikey says for another $10, the Signal Group being infiltrated falls under Discord will always be leaked rule from 2018. But unlike the sector, it was funded by our tax dollars. Yes, that's true. Yes, these people were trained and all stood up on that. And that's a neat thing with Discord. It costs nothing to set up a server on Discord. Boop, boop, done. It's up. You can start one, collapse it, put all kinds of channels, collapse those channels, like boom, 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 all day long. And there's people doing that all day long, getting stuff prepped and planned. And when that one closed, the one they have set up, boom, on. All kinds of stuff. Ding Chavez, 09. The second commander of Rainbow after the great John Clark. Good to see you, Ding. Hope you're doing well. Nods and thermals, folks. If you don't have them, you won't last long. Look at those dead Russians. That's another thing, too. But keep in mind, chat, thermals and all those different kinds of things out there. You know what's neat? Buying thermals, yeah, that would be helpful. But you know what you can do in the meantime? They make thermal attachments for phones and various different implements that are out there that you can use in a pinch. And there's all that's, and that's the second part of it, really. Getting gear isn't a problem. Learning what to do, really, like getting in shape. Like I can have all the gear in the world, and being out of shape don't help you none. So just keep it in mind. Keep in mind what you need to do. But yes, at some point, if you could afford it, get thermal, get night vision. The shit's getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper as the days go by. And there's alternatives to think outside the box. There's various ways to do it. Various ways to do it. Well, wait, hold on here. What are my text messages? Oh, okay. Also, there are a lot of dead Ukrainians on that sides of that too. And also, guys, there are all kinds of people. Oh God, what are the names of those dudes who the Estonian guys who show you how to fuck with thermal in night vision? They're good. Grantham shows you how to fuck with thermal a little bit too. Remember though, thermal, like vehicle mounted thermal, like helicopter or tank or any, weapon system mounted thermal. It's like the Eye of Sauron. If it catches you, you're fucked. But like handheld thermal, drone thermal, you can kind of defeat and hide from. And then Brafuzzo. Oh no, it's Brozoof. Yeah, God, it's Brozu. So, yeah, I remember now. For 10 subs. Let's fucking go tonight, chat. Let's go tonight. Thank you for your support, your generosity. Guys got something from them, tell them thanks. Razor's Edge has been a member for 1 month. Thank you for your support. Says, my new barrel showed up for my lightweight build. Based. Hope you like it. Hope it's good. Hope you make a good bang. Hopefully you have a machine that makes folk music. Malcolm Combs says, any thoughts on the MDT LSS Gen 3 or a Howa 1500 action? My coworkers talked me into getting into PRS shooting. Oh, so you're going to start doing like F class. I've wanted to start doing that myself. I mean, a Howa 1500, you know, they a lot of aftermarket support for that. I don't know about the MDT, so I would stay away from that, I guess. But like that or a Remington 700, you know, the Howa or the MD or the 700, you have all kinds of options available. And also, I mean, like, are you thinking about doing like 308 or 6.5? I mean, I wouldn't do like if you're gonna do 6.5, do that. I wouldn't do 216 Remington, although that's a laser gun round, just because like you can't use like it won't fit into a 308 action. You're gonna have to have a different setup for that, a little bit more custom. But no, I've thought about, you know, like doing it in 308 and 308 now with 308 bullets and watching people do it. You could do 308 out to 1,000 yards. You could do 308 out to a mile, really, nowadays. But yeah, well, congrats. Good luck on that. Hopefully I'll be doing that soon too. Thinking about it. My problem, there's like a million different things I want to fucking do with guns. And it's like, if I buy that, then I can't do this. And I'm like stuck on paralysis. So yeah, but good luck, man. Good luck. I think if you're going to do I'd do the Howa instead. That's just me. There's so many more things for it. And that gives you options. But, you know, whatever, you know, I go on the like Sniper's Hide and ask around, or even AR15.com, go into their PRS section. They might be able to, I don't know. I haven't been there in like years, so I don't know how dead it is, but you can go check. You could see, oh God, that was a Coke sip. I needed that. My mouth was getting dry. MDT is based in Idaho Falls. I understand they're decent, but it's like, you can buy that, but like, I don't know what their modularity is, like how much it is if you want to do a bunch of different things with it. I get like their stuff is good, but like if you just want to buy a Howa action and like I want to do all kinds of shit to it, well, yeah, then the choice is clear. It kind of depends what you want to do. I mean, if you're not sure what you want to do or what your capabilities are, you could get a Ruger precision rifle. I mean, like you might be able to learn how to outshoot that very fast, but in the meantime, you can learn your shooting skills on a cheaper platform that's been made. And then as you get to the point where you outgrow it, you could sell it, get rid of it, use that money and get something better. I mean, because that's part of the issue. You're going to like, if you get something tricked out all the way, yeah, that's great. You'll be able to, you know, it's like buying a computer with like 100 gigs of RAM in it and shit. You know, like, yeah, you'll be unstoppable, but it's like, or you could buy and then once you get to your limit, expand. And then from there, build up and then expand. It's all up to you what you want to do. They're different thoughts. Well, yeah, there's Hop. Hop does stuff too, but I'm trying to think. Falcon Claw. Yes, that's the guy. Falcon Claw. Name of some such as defeated with an umbrella. At times it can be. And believe it or not, guys, the umbrella was a critical part of German sniper training in World War II. They would use the umbrella as kind of like an improvised blind. And as demonstrated here by my bolt action figure for, if you guys know what bolt action is, it's basically Warhammer. Like all the Warhammer people left Games Workshop and started this. It's a World War II based one. It is Sepp Allerberger. And he would use an umbrella, and that's just part of the umbrella. And you rip the frame apart, and you weave branches and shit through it, and you make like a mobile blind that you can carry along that's lightweight. And you could just pop up and move it along and sit behind it. Yes, umbrellas are very critical weapons in that stuff. Angela says, I don't know if you're following the Alice Andrews trial. I am not. I don't know which one that is. She just got her judge removed. Based. Yeah, drones are going to be a very big part of it for you and your community. Guys having drones. I mean, the neat thing is, though, like, how many kids in this area have drones? Bunches of them. So you got, like, your community has resources already. Like, that's why I said, get your community together. Hey, we got all these drones. Okay, well, now we need to make sure we got solar power so we could charge them up and keep them flying and, like, all kinds of shit. Like, it's where you build your resources and pool them together. So not everybody needs to buy a drone. People can help put it together, and, like, you guys can work on stuff. Yeah. Oh, so Kuz says you can create a bot to open and close the Discord every hour. Well, there you go. So you're broke. So the $500, 1,500 action plus barrel plus trigger combo is looking really appealing. That's not a bad choice. Look at Bergara. They actually are a very good option as well. They're out of, well, I think they're originally out of Spain. I think they're in America now, but Bergara makes really good shit too. Yeah, I mean, like, you can get really far with it, a decent action and decent barrel. I mean, fuck, dude, you're already most of the way there. Then you can, like, then if you like, and once you kind of really get into it, then you can be like all fucking spurgy and like blueprint your rifle and fucking you break out all the dicum and you start like lapping down bolt faces and lugs. And then if you really want to be like fucking autistic, you can jewel your fucking bolt body and shit. Like, there's all kinds of things you can do. V2 means these Discord's not encrypted. You want to use Element. Once again, it depends what you're doing. You have your white comms, your red comms, and your black comms. Which one is it? If it's white comms, Discord's great. If it's an emergency thing, you can use Discord to like get the word out. We're going to like protocol. Black comms. Like those are things. Like you can use it for different. They have different purposes. When you're operating in this type of situation, Discord's perfect. Because it doesn't cost you anything. It's perfect for that. Savage is good too. Savage is really good. Yeah. There's a lot of options out there. Scuba says, don't you know 308 immediately drops to the ground at 800 yards? Yeah. Glock easy peasy. Well, you can't use Quicksilver says, never use how I like Tika. Yeah, I mean, like, Tika's really good too, but they're really expensive. Garrett says 700 shit. I'm not saying buying a Remington 700, but get a Remington 700 patterned action and get a barrel. Like, they're like, you can buy all kinds of shit from all kinds of companies. I don't mean buying a Remington 700. I just mean a 700 patterned rifle is not a bad idea either. But yeah, like get it like a 700 patterned rifle. It's not like you could buy like a 5R now and it's going to be any good. But like, how many companies make Remington 700 receivers and you can get a nice barrel and bolt setup? Like you can get a lot of setups that way. Yeah, and that's the thing. How and Remington have the most aftermarket support? Remington 700 has a questionable safety. Not anymore. But even then, you don't buy a Remington. Like, that's the thing, guys. Don't buy fucking Remington. Buy somebody else that's made a Remington pattern. It's like AR-15s. It's a pattern. It's a set of plans, and you make a fucking AR-15. Well, the Remington 700 rifle, people are now making Remington 700 parts. Well, so buy it somewhere else is what I would recommend. Malcolm says MDT makes chassis with lots of compatibility. I don't know anything about them to know what they do. Swakel says BCM, Geisley, or Daniel Defense. Which one to pick? Well, fuck, if you're buying Geisley, like you're buying something for Bill Geisley in the gang, like buying a fucking Super Duty, like Pinky. It's like SpongeBob. Like, get that fucking Pinky all the way up, sir. But like BCM or Daniel Defense, they'll both do fine. I mean, shit, you can, my go-to AR, the one that sits in, in the bedroom ready to go, is a Rock River that I bought in 2008. I mean, for the most part, any, like I hate, like AR, like the grand AR chart, like it all depends. Like, it matters. Like, Is your bolt magnetic particle inspected? Do you have an M16 full auto bolt carrier? What kind of charging handle do you have? What kind of barrel do you have? I mean, a lot of that stuff is stuff you can piece together, or, there's a lot of companies out there that make good ARs now. That's not hard. But yes, like, those guys are guaranteed you'll probably be fine. And Geisley, fuck. If you've got, like, your fucking Geisley money, dude, nice. So, let's see. You get all your firearms advice exclusive from Carnicon. Well, no, you use Dugan Ashley to do the, teach you how to make explosives. Energetic America. So, Mean Copium, friend of the show. Josh, how you doing, man? So my new drone is amazing. The 26 zoom is like having a spy satellite. Yeah. Tim Pools is, what if you hate people? You're probably not going to make it very long. Lone wolves don't really exist. Like, wolves are in a pack. We're pack animals. It's like, if you're on your own, you can only be on your own for so long. I mean, that's just a matter of things. Get a Ruger American in 6.5. You could do that. Zveds is saying, I have a Bergara. It fucks. Yeah. Yep. You can literally buy fiber optic spools that are used for work in Ukraine. And pretty easy to homebrew models. Yeah. Yep. You want a Precision Matthews? That works too. No. Justin Hancock, bedazzling is no. Jeweling your bolt. On a bolt action when you're jeweling it. That's not what jeweling is. This is jeweling right here. I'll show this because technically it's not showing a gun. This is what jeweling is. This is jeweling right here. So it's not bedazzling. You're doing actual things to it that it just looks pretty. That doesn't do anything. Yeah, a Colt 6920 is still good. Yeah, but like, not for the price. Not for the price. You could get a lot better things out there. But yes, a Colt 6920 is good. The problem is it's fucking Colt. LaRue, once again, like, if you're doing fucking LaRue, like, here you are, sir. If this is your first AR, no. If you're like looking for something fun, buy whatever you want. LMT, once again. Focus Trip was given. I like his show. I like his shit. I like when he said Ben Stoker on and they go fucking crazy. I was giving away hundreds of discount codes after SHOT Show to get a Geisley for $15 flat. Whoa! Damn, nice. I didn't watch them lately. I need to. Tim Beatty says, charging handle, who cares? It's helpful to have that stuff. Also, somebody like me, like, on my guns, like, I think there's some benefit in being able, like, you can just yank the charging handle on one side. Well, instead of reaching over or clawing it, if I can just grab it, well, an ambidextrous charging handle is good. Having a charging handle that'll kind of, like, if you're going suppressed, having like a gas buster so you're not getting gas in your face. All these little things have advantages. It's a little smoother. It's a little more like all that smoothness and all those things just increase reliability. Maybe just the littlest bit, but maybe it's that littlest bit that makes when it counts, your shit's going to run just enough for you to do what you got to do. So, you can't believe I'm only 5'3". I'm 5'7". Spud Gun says, does 2.0 do boomsticks? Like, she knows her way around a piece, but she's like, well, I mean, if she started shooting really well, I know she's a Fed. No, like, she understands guns and she knows where the guns are. She knows how to use them, but like, they're not her thing. But that's okay. Like, could she kill somebody if it came to it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure she could. Jeremiah Maddox says, what do you have a PS? Well, this is like running the gamut. If you have a PSA, Daniel Defense, a Bravo Company, a Lewis Machine and Tool, that's what LMT is, Lewis Machine and Tool. They also make really good M203 stuff. The SIG MCX and other LMTs and a few builds. Well, and then you don't need to fucking talk to me. You don't need to talk to me about shit. Oh. Jane Bebke says, Dugan Ashley and Carnicon got me through law school. Yeah. Ag says, I read my own textbooks instead of Doog to learn things. It keeps me off list more. Well, I don't know how to do stuff. Do you think I know how to do OChem? No, I need to learn how he does it. Bella says, why is Winter Soldier banned? When did he get banned? Did he get banned or something? Oh, hold on here. What happened? Did he get timed out or banned or what? Hold on here. Let me figure this out. I don't know what happened here, but he shouldn't be. Let me figure it out. Sometimes accidents happen. Let's see here. Hidden users, approved users. I don't see him being banned. He's not on like anything out there. I don't see channel guidelines, user management, content controls. Yeah, I don't see anything on here that he's out of the thing. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure, Bella. So let's see here. Sorry, I had to check. I mean, if you have all those things, though, look into getting destructive devices. Buy an M203. Learn how to have some fun. I still want to buy factory SBRs. Well, you can do that. Poor guy's languishing kick chat. Well, he hasn't typed over here yet. He can come on in. Tell him to well, I mean, my email's down below, but tell him to type in here. He should be able to see stuff. I haven't banned him. So yeah, I don't know. Malcolm's MDT makes chats with less compatibility. Yeah. Let's see here. I think we're all caught up, guys. We're all caught up. Wow, it's 11 o'clock. Well, we're going to have to step away, chat, because it's going to be, got an early day tomorrow. Got to go pick up. It's weird. It's Wednesday, and we got to go do grocery run, but we got, yeah, Winter Soldier said you weren't banned. Come home. Yeah, you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be banned. I don't ban you. Remember, there's only one person. There's only one person with a shoot on sight order, and it ain't you. And you'll know who it is when they get shot. Meme Copium says, yes, it's almost 11. T-Rex Travel says, are we going to talk Tectone tomorrow? No, but real quick, guys, if you guys are new, you guys can hang out. We do a show every Thursday night at 9:30. That's our weekly show, kind of rounding up all the different legal stuff that's going on. Guys, I cover all kinds of stuff. This legal stuff here with Trump, what's going on there. As that goes, we cover trials. Like, we're in the middle of a trial in Virginia that got delayed from the snow. The guy had worked with his nanny to lure in a murder the wife and another guy. Like, we covered all kinds of stuff, by the way, too. So I hope you guys join us 9:30 Eastern. Also, please like and subscribe. We just cleared 27K. We're going all the way to 100. I want that. I want to show the world. Oh, hold on one second. All right. Oh, 2.0 is yelling for the dogs. Never mind. Are we going to talk Tectone tomorrow? I don't have any of the documents. I'm trying to get a hold of them. I messaged JStock over on Discord, see if because apparently he's got them. I don't know where the hell people got them. I can't find them. I want them because, yeah, the whole Tectone thing sounds fucking crazy. But there's Tectone updates, there's Ethan Klein updates, there's updates at Stuttering John. We might have a lolcow centric lawsuit night coming up here. But otherwise, no. Brendan Banfield goes to trial tomorrow. We're going to cover that because it sounds like he's testifying tomorrow. He's taking the stand in his own defense. So we're probably going to watch that tomorrow and probably finish up the trial. So that would be the game plan. Sorry. That would be our game plan. Oh, Mindset had a stream on it. I'll take a look at it then if they're out there. Yeah, supposedly the site glitched and people were downloading them. Yeah, but it sounds like Tectone may have accidentally shared them too. I'll get a hold of Mindset then. Have you covered the Cat 10 Bars lawsuit at all? I've read through it. We're going to do that here coming up. There's so many things. Like, if ICE quits killing fucking communists for 5 minutes, I might be able to cover more stuff. So I think we might be able to. Like, ICE is like, look, we're done killing commies for this month. We filled our quota. Yes, we'll probably be able to cover a little more coming up here. Also, with the Brendan Banfield trial ending, we're going to get back into more normal routine programming here, goalie. Good to see you, by the way. Chuchin says, great show. Well, you guys make the show great. You guys are what make the show great. I'm just the retard guy here who's going like, ah! Like every once in a while. Or like this. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. I'm just being loud. Yeah, need more Giggy Wiggers. That's right, chat. Giggy Wig over on YouTube at Giggy Wig. Help meme. Eventually he'll start playing dinosaurs again. But he's holding a hostage. He's going to wage quit. Following the legacy of his sensei, Phil Burnell. I haven't any details on today's Border Patrol shooting. Happened down on the border. Guys, Border Patrol down on the border gets into gunfights all the fucking time. Like, the border is dangerous. And, like, it's so bad down there. Even the Texas Department, like the Texas Highway Patrol, the Department of Public Safety, they have armored boats because they do stuff because the Rio Grande is on their thing. Like this is the Texas, like, they have a patrol boat, like, unit. And, like, if you guys have never seen this before, like, they have, like, motherfucking... They have, like, motherfucking... Like, they have, like, motherfucking... Like, patrol boats with, like, M240s on them. Like, look. Like, they literally have belt-fed machine guns on this motherfucking... Like, an M240. Dual-mounted M240s. The Texas Highway Patrol on the Rio Grande. That's how dangerous it is down there. The border with Mexico is very violent. Border Patrol gets into tons of gunfights down there. It's a normal thing. It is a normal occurrence. So, explain some Japanese government to us. The LDP is going to win. Is that the good guys or the bad guys? Is that Shinzo Abe's party or not? Yeah. Well, I guess the Dino game changed a lot since I got played. It's not, man. The game's the same. It just got more fierce. Okay. And guys, we'll end again tonight on Ilhan Omar just getting fucking... We'll end on this tonight, chat, and we'll call it here.
Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
There we go. There we go. So. You really expected ICE agents to come out against Trump when he tried doing this? No, they've been getting, like, they're all in, and he got to turn them loose. So no, they're happy. They get to do whatever they want. So. LDP is a party that controlled Japan for decades. I know, but is that, oh God, now you're making me look it up. Yeah. Okay. So Liberal Democratic Party. Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought I was really worried. Oh, okay. This makes you feel better, chat. The LDP is a Major conservative and nationalist political party in Japan. Banzai! Based. There we go. They regained control of the government under Shinzo Abe. There you go. That's all you got to tell me is Shinzo Abe's party. Based, I'm all for it. I want Japanese nationalism. I want them building the Akagi, the Kaga, the Hiryu, the Soryu. You know, I want them build the Shokaku, the Zuikaku. I want them building the Kido Butai again. Just to felt the Chinese. I want that, chat. I want that for us. I want that for Japan. I want the chrysanthemum throne to be once again majestic. So. You forgot the Yamato. The Yamato, the Musashi, I want it all. We need it all, chat. I want the Yamato full of rail guns. I want a Yamato with like rail guns and rail guns that shoot out cruise missiles, like in Ace Combat. Was it fucking 4? It's like the Eslovakians had that railgun thing that shot out the canisters of cruise missiles at people in Ameria, and you had to go attack it. That's what I want. So, the LDP are foamers. That's fine too. Even better. That's right, Iman Rezu. We're going back to We're going back to Nanking. Say Shinkansen. There we go. Not Shinkansen. Shinkansen. Dong. There we go. There we go. Japan's empire's future in the hands of a 21-year-old otaku. Someone's parties and curious for Yamaguchi. Yes, I do. Have you read the book, The Japan That Can Say No? No, I've never read that. That sounds a little scary. Your moon speak needs work. That's fine, but I'm pretty close, I thought. So, anyways, chat, that is it for us tonight. We are all done. You guys are probably tired. I will see you guys tomorrow. Not sure if it should be Brendan Banfield. I think they've cleared up their problems down in Virginia. Should be it's scheduled for tomorrow. If not, if I can get a hold of the Tectone shit, I will definitely look into it. But yeah, chat, that's it for us tonight. I will talk to you guys later. And remember, until next time, chat, just because you did it does not mean you're guilty. Unless you're the commies and you can suffer. That's what you're meant to do, is suffer. Good night, chat. Take care, everybody. God bless America. We're back. I mean, it's like we've always been back. And I feel bad for being a panikin, but we it's like John Wick. Yeah, I think we're back. I think we're back. But we never left. So good night, chat, and take care.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes, esoteric works, and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting, and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops, even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty, but please talk to a local attorney. Was that the fat guy Rick hated yelled at? Why, yes it was, he even knows he's fat. For all this fun and more, there's one place to go, here on Sean Martin's Potentially Criminal Show.
I take it good says, but the Japanese use the Cape gauge. I guess I'm gonna have to take everything back I said about Japan. They go back in the Suffa box. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. I hope this is misinformation. But sadly, I think it might be true. Good night, chat.